What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 12 Centigrams Chapter 190. Strongly suppress the golden style. The power is high, the master knows too much, and he has beaten the idea of the boss woman. If you think about it carefully, Jin Renfeng's situation is indeed quite dangerous. If someone else was in his position, 80% would be the first to attack. However, Li Xuan does not think Jin Renfeng was forced to turn against him. Jin Renfeng and Blackbeard are the same kind of people, they're both ambitious people. In the chat group, Dongfang Gaiyu asked, Master Group Owner, what should I do now? Li Xuan. How about you leave this matter to you? Dongfang Gaiyu understood Li Xuan's meaning in seconds and asked, Impure World Reincarnation? Li Xuan. That's right. Is your tomb behind Shenwoshan village? Dongfang Gaiyu responded with a complicated mood, yes. Cooperating with Li Xuan to dig her own grave, Dongfang Gaiyu's mood is particularly delicate. Moments later, the reincarnated Oriental Lonely Moon appeared in front of Li Xuan. Endless mana. Dongfang Gaiyu sensed her state and sighed sincerely, reincarnation is really powerful. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama said proudly, of course, don't look at who invented the forbidden technique. Uchiha Madara sneered and poured cold water on Senju Hashirama. Save it. Do you think the group owner is using your Chengtu reincarnation? That's a skill that was upgraded by the chat group system. Senju Hashirama said angrily. That's also using my forbidden technique as a prototype to transform and upgrade it. Can you do it? Apart from using the power you inherited from your bloodline, what else can you boast about? Susanoo, which you are proud of, and pupil technique, that's just a benefit left by Sage of Six Paths. Uchiha Madara said angrily. So what? In the Hokage world, there are all kinds of people who believe in everything. Can I believe in blood and anything? Ignoring the daily quarrel between Uchiha Madara and Senju 467 Hashirama in the chat group, Li Xuan looked at Dongfang Lone Moon and asked curiously, what are your plans now? Do you do it right away, or wait until they've made the plan almost completely? Shatter their fantasies? Dongfang Gaiyu pondered for a while, and said very decisively, do it now. Uchiha Madara in the chat group stopped arguing with Senju Hashirama and asked, why? Are you worried that after Jin Renfeng connects too many disciples, you won't be able to fight them? Dongfang Gaiyu said proudly, how is it possible? Together they will not be my opponents. Senju Hashirama guessed. It should be because I don't want to see too many disciples turning against me, and I don't want to see the scene where they betrayed me. Shiki the Golden Lion sneered. Isn't this very good? You can easily see who is not loyal to you, this is a good opportunity. Dongfang Gaiyu. No, I originally thought of taking this opportunity to clean up the disciples who were not loyal to me in Shenwoshan village, but then I gave up this idea. It's not that I'm reluctant, but I realize that this idea is a bit difficult, childish. Li Xuan. It's really naive. There is no absolute loyalty in this world, and the human heart cannot withstand temptation. Most people will be coerced and lured, and it is difficult to make them absolutely loyal to a certain force or a certain person. Senju Hashirama. At this time, you need excellent management methods. Do you need me to give you some advanced experience? Although I am not good at knowing people and employing people, my management methods are still acceptable. Gold Thief Yunin. Second Hokage, are you sure? Senju Hashirama sneered. Of course. As long as I don't die, there will be no problem with my management methods. Coincidentally, both me and Dongfang Gaiyu are immortal now. Howard Stark. Forget it, second Hokage, don't show off your management experience. In terms of management, I have relevant theories and experience in this world. Li Xuan. If you want to talk about management, you have to watch Marvel World and Jackie Chan's Adventures World. These two worlds have rich theories and historical experience on the earth. I will get you a few books at that time, and you can study well. Dongfang Gaiyu smiled and said, then I would like to thank the group master. At this moment, a quarrel came from one direction of Shenwoshan village. Li Xuan and Dongfang Gaiyu looked at each other and rushed over with the ability of the space gem. In a courtyard, Dongfang Gaiyu's two daughters, the eldest daughter Dongfang Waizu and the second daughter Dongfang Qinlan wanted to come out, but they were stopped by several disciples of Shenwoshan village. Ladies, please don't make it difficult for us. Elder brother said that you are not allowed to leave without authorization, we cannot let you out. One of the leading disciples of Shenhuo Zhuangzhuang said to the two young ladies with a smile. Dongfang Waizu said with a gloomy and pretty face, when will it be Jin Renfeng's turn for Shenwoshan Villa? We are the heirs of Shenwoshan Villa. The leading disciple smiled, but said slowly, eldest brother is also for your own good, after all, the two young ladies have never left Shenhuo Zhuang. I don't know that the people outside are sinister, and the senior brother is afraid that you will suffer loss if you leave here. A disciple of Shenwoshan village next to him echoed. That's right, now the old village owner has just died, I don't know how many forces are waiting to see the jokes of our Shenwoshan village. And there are even many demon clansmen waiting to take advantage of the fire. The two young ladies are leaving now. This is not a wise decision, the big brother is also to protect you. Dongfang Qinlan got angry and put her hands on her waist in anger. Just as she was about to say something, Dongfang Waizu stopped her. Dongfang Waizu said calmly, little sister, forget it, Since the big brother is also kind, then we shouldn't cause him any trouble. Dongfang Zunju had already recognized the situation, and the people who imprisoned them were all die-hard Jin Renfeng loyalists, and they couldn't get out unless they used force. And once they broke through with force, it would be equivalent to tearing up their face with Jin Renfeng, and a war would be inevitable at that time. In the face of Jin Renfeng, who has Dongfang's spirit blood, Dongfang Waizu has no confidence in winning him. Although Dongfang Waizu is ready to fight against Jin Renfeng, but before that, she wants to send her sister out safely. Boom! Just as Dongfang Waizu and Dongfang Talon were about to retreat, a mass of Pyongyang Yan flew over, directly blasting the disciples of the god volcano village who had stopped them from leaving. Presumptuous! Who is so arrogant? How dare you? Do your hands on us at Shenhuoshan village, don't you die? The disciples of Shenhuo Zhuang who were blasted out shouted angrily, but after seeing who was shooting, they all became dumbfounded. They widened their eyes and looked at Dongfang Gaiyu who was walking slowly with disbelief. They opened their mouths for a while before making a sound. Master? Soon, the leading disciple regained his composure and looked at Dongfang Gaiyu's cold and stern words. No, master, his old man is dead. Who are you? You dare to pretend to be the first teacher. You are so bold. Do you want to stay with Shenhua Shenjuang forever? Facing the doubts of the disciples of Shenhuoshan village, Dongfang Gaiyu smiled contemptuously. He didn't have a good impression of these die-hard Jin Renfeng, and directly used Pyongyang Yan to show his identity. The raging fire spewed out from Dongfang Gaiyu's body, and it turned into a long flame in an instant, and a circle wiped out all the disciples of Shenhuoshan village. Dongfang Gaiyu, who used to be the leader of the Yiki Dao alliance, showed her powerful strength that could match her status. Without the strength of the first person in Taoism, what would be the leader of the Yiki Daoist alliance? Dongfang Gaiyu is not a managerial talent, and it is his strength that can be the leader of the alliance. Father. Dongfang Zunju and Dongfang Talon looked at Dongfang Gaiyu, who was wearing kamui, and muttered to themselves in disbelief, aren't you already dead? Dongfang Gaiyu smiled and said, I am indeed dead, but now I am just resurrected in a special way. Li Zan's body appeared next to Dongfang Lonely Moon, shook his head and reminded, you are not resurrected now, you are just a living dead with a special body. Dongfang Waizu and Dongfang Qinlan's expressions changed, and their vigilant eyes swept over Li Zan. Rest assured, this is not the enemy. Instead, it's my benefactor. Dongfang Gaiyu waved her hand and told her two daughters not to be hostile to Li Zan. At this time, Jin Renfeng quickly appeared here with the disciples of Shenhuo Zhuang who were loyal to him. They surrounded this place directly from the air, preventing Dongfang Waizu and Dongfang Qinlan from escaping. But when they saw Dongfang Gaiyu beside the second daughter, they were so frightened that they almost fell off the flying sword. Master? Impossible. Master is dead, but what happened to him? Before the two sides started, there was some confusion on Jin Renfeng's side. Shut up. Jin Renfeng stared at Dongfang Gaiyu below with a gloomy expression, and said in a cold and stern tone, who are you? How dare you pretend to be my mentor? I Jin Renfeng and Shenhuo Zhuang will be with you forever. Dongfang Gaiyu laughed loudly when she heard the words, pointed at Jin Renfeng and scolded. Jin Renfeng. You stole my Dongfang spirit blood and killed me, and now you still dare to say such brazen words in front of me? Many disciples of the surrounding Shenhuoshan village changed their expressions when they heard this, and their hearts were a little stunned. No wonder Jin Renfeng has undergone such a big change. Jin Renfeng was reborn overnight. Not only did the skilled master become Pyongyang Yan, but the spiritual power on his body also increased several times, which made many disciples of Shenhuo Zhuang curious. However, they never imagined that Jin Renfeng would dare to do such a thing to kill his master and take his spiritual blood. No wonder. Many disciples of Shenhuo Zhuang murmured in their hearts and quietly distanced themselves from Jin Renfeng. Most of them were originally coerced by Jin Renfeng's coercion. Now Jin Renfeng has made such a big news, although they want to distance themselves from it. Jin Renfeng's complexion changed when he noticed the reactions of the people around him. When he found out that there were still many die-hard loyalists, his complexion became much better. Presumptuous. Not only pretending to be my teacher, but also slandering me? Courting death? Jin Renfeng looked at Dongfang Gaiyu grimly, and without a word, summoned Pyongyang Yan, condensed a huge fireball and smashed it at the opponent. Steal my spirit blood to be able to master the Pyongyang flame of master? That's fine? Let me see how much you have grown with the oriental spirit blood. Dongfang Gaiyu sneered, raised her hand and summoned a fire dragon. The flaming Pyongyang Yan was hotter than that of Jin Renfeng. Two different Pyongyang flames collided with each other, and immediately began to erode each other, but 2 or 3 breaths were divided into the winner and the loser. Jin Renfeng was strongly suppressed by Dongfang Gaiyu. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 191 The Breath of a Long-Lost Love Triangle. The Jin Renfeng who got the Dongfang spiritual blood has indeed become much stronger, but it is still far from Dongfang Gaiyu, who used to be the #1 Taoist sect. Just like Blackbeard who got the shock fruit ability, he will be hanged like Whitebeard at his peak. Dongfang Gaiyu manipulated Pyongyang Yan and taught him a good lesson for this traitor disciple, letting him know why he could become the leader of the One Chi Dao League. Facing the Dongfang lonely moon with full firepower, Jin Renfeng lost all his arrogance. The sense of superiority and self-confidence cultivated after obtaining the Oriental spiritual blood disappeared in front of the burning Pyongyang Yan. Master, forgive me. Don't kill me, I'm your chief disciple. Have you forgotten? You raised me as a son. Jin Renfeng screamed, and he could bend and stretch just like Blackbeard teach. In the chat group, Whitebeard looked at Jin Renfeng's performance and said speechlessly, "This guy is really like Blackbeard teach. When Blackbeard teach was beaten by me, he also called me dad." Dongfang Gaiyu asked curiously, "He begged you for mercy, are you soft-hearted?" Whitebeard sneered. How could he be soft-hearted? At that time, I had already recognized his essence. I had only one purpose at the time, and that was to take his life. Shiki the Golden Lion interjected, "It's a pity that at that time, Whitebeard was overwhelmed and weak, and he tried his best and couldn't kill him." Whitebeard said helplessly, "No way. My injury relapsed at that time, and Blackbeard teach had a group of powerful helpers." Dongfang Gaiyu. "It seems that I am luckier than you. At least when I was taking revenge, my physical condition was better than yours. Not only was I not troubled by injuries, but I also had an immortal body and endless mana." Outside world. The flames burned in Dongfang Gaiyu's eyes, and the flaming Pyongyang unceremoniously swallowed Jin Renfeng into it. Not only that, Jin Renfeng's die-hard loyal was also swallowed by the flame dragon. The disciples of Shenhuo Zhuang, who fled early, were all trembling when they saw this scene, and some even began to kneel to Dongfang Gaiyu and beg for mercy. "Master, forgive me. Master, we were forced by Jin Renfeng." Looking coldly at the disciples of Shenhuo Zhuang who were kneeling and begging for mercy, Dongfang Gaiyu said solemnly, "For the sake of you being coerced by Jin Renfeng, I will spare your life for the master this time. This is not an example, it has happened again. If you commit a crime, you will be executed." The disciples of Shenwoshan village breathed a sigh of relief when they heard the words, and were grateful to Dongfang Gaiyu. However, before their rainbow farts were finished, a group of Taoist priests flying from Yujian appeared in the sky above Shenwoshan village. "The heir of Wangshen Villa, Wangshen in the world, I heard that civil unrest broke out in Shenwoshan Villa, and I came here to help." Accompanied by the sound of a saucy bag, the royal sword of King Power flew over and stood in front of the many disciples of King Power Villa. In the chat group, Golden Lion Shiki asked suspiciously, "If I remember correctly, this kid shouldn't be the heir of King Power Villa, right? He said it before." Senju Tobarama sneered. "Does it even need to be said? He must have lied. Maybe it was because he was not sure of winning against Jin Renfeng, so he made up an important identity for himself to save his life." Li Zan. "That's not necessarily true. I think Wangshen Tianxia is probably trying to use the advantage of poor information to help himself gain the position of Wangshen Villa, Shenhuo Villa, and even the entire Yiki Dao alliance." Dongfang Gaiyu. "The advantage of poor information? I don't understand." Li Zan. "For example, Wangshen Tianxia is the son of the patriarch of the Wangshen family. He only has the opportunity to become the heir, but he is not the heir of the complete mountain village and the royal family." Li Zan. "He came to you at this time, asked to marry your eldest daughter, and said that he was the next patriarch of the Wangshen family, the heir of Wangshen Villa and the next leader of the Yiki Dao League." Dongfang Gaiyu. "How is this possible? I won't be deceived by him. I will believe whatever he says. I will investigate it myself." Li Zan. "You want to investigate these things, don't you need time?" He took advantage of this time difference. Before you went to investigate, he told the Wangshen family and the people of Wangshen Villa that he was about to marry the eldest lady of Shenwoshan Villa and get with the support of many members of the Yiki Dao League, becoming the next leader is a sure thing. Dongfang Gaiyu said speechlessly. At the same time, will he still contact many people with real power in the Yiki Dao League and tell them that he will inherit the royal family and the King Power Villa, and then marry the Shenhuo Villa? Li Zan. "That's right, as long as he moves fast enough to get the news out before the people you send to investigate, guess what?" Senju Hashirama wondered. None of the three forces he deceived would believe him at once. Couldn't his lies be easily exposed? Senju Tobarama sneered. "That's not necessarily. I think he has a high probability of success in doing so. Because it is impossible to treat people with honesty, and it is even more so between power and power. The mutual defense between them is the root of his success." Doflamingo sneered. Fufu is right. I also think he has a high probability of success. Mr. Dongfang, if Wangshen Tianshan told you those words, Yiki Dameng and Wangshen Villa would send someone to ask you, "Are you going to marry your daughter? What do you think in your heart?" Dongfang Gaiyu thought for a while and said helplessly, "In that case, my doubts in my heart will be dispelled. Because if Wangshen World lied, neither Wangshen Villa nor Yiki Daomen would come to ask about such a thing." Dongfang Gaiyu. "I will think that what Wangshen Tianxia said is true, and he came to propose marriage with the approval of Wangshen Villa and Yiki Dao League. From Wangshen Tianxia to the two major forces, they are all testing me for the same purpose, views." Dongfang Gaiyu. "If that's the case, then I have a high possibility of agreeing. After all, the three major forces of King Power Villa, Shenhuo Zhuang and Yiki Dao League are important reliances of the human race, and it is also a good thing to deepen their relationship with each other." Senju Hashirama wondered, if this method is so good, why didn't he use it sooner? Li Zan. Because of the difficulty. This kind of gameplay is very demanding on timing and requirements, and any small accident will lead to a break in the game. The king of the world is a man with a system, and he can go to the top of his life by playing steadily. Taking such a big risk? It could be fatal to play it off. Dongfang Gaiyu smiled and said, if he really plays like this, it won't be a big deal even if he is dismantled. This is indeed a good way to unite the three major forces. Maybe we all pretend that we don't know and acquiesce. Li Zan. That's not necessarily true. His brother is better than him, so he is not afraid of the three major forces replacing each other's ties with his brother. He will definitely not try such a big risk. Tay. Gold thief Wu Nan. Then why did he do it now? Li Zan. He is not deceiving the three major powers now, but a leaderless Shenhuo Zhuang. And the current Shenhuo Zhuang must not have the energy to verify this matter. Even if he is exposed in the future, he can also explain, lying is to save people. Dongfang Gaiyu was a little annoyed, this little thing has so many hearts. Li Zan said indifferently, it's okay, the main reason is that his system is not strong enough to give him the strength to push the world. Outside world. After Wangshen Tianxia appeared, looking at the indifferent Dongfang Gaiyu below, her face suddenly became dull. What about Jin Renfeng? This is completely different from what he imagined. Someone in Shenwoshan village started fighting, isn't it the corresponding fight between Jin Renfeng and Dongfang Waizu? What happened to the Oriental Lonely Moon? Li Zan looked at Dongfang Waizu beside him and asked, Miss Waizu, I want to ask you a question. Do you know Wangshen hegemony? Dongfang Waizu nodded, looked at Wangshen Tianxia in the sky and replied, I know. Once when I was practicing outside, I met him with Wangshen hegemony. Later we met several times, each time their brothers appeared together. Dongfang Gaiyu glanced at Li Zan and asked in the chat group, Master, what are you asking Waizu for? Li Zan. In the original future, Dongfang Waizu ended up with Wangshen hegemony. But now it seems that the original future has been destroyed by Wangshen Tianxia. This boy Wangshen Tianxia has thoughts about his sister-in-law. Howard Stark suddenly became excited. Claustrophobic? I smell the breath of a long-lost love triangle. Kingship is a third party, right? This third party can do it. Although it failed to intervene smoothly, at least the original match dismantled. The mutant Black Emperor smiled and said, if we hadn't made trouble, maybe he'd already succeeded in digging a corner. Dongfang Gaiyu moved in her heart and asked, I understand Wangshen hegemony, that is a very powerful young man. Even if Jin Renfeng gets Dongfang's spiritual blood, he may not be his opponent. Did he kill Jin Renfeng? Li Zan. What a pity. Wangshen hegemony formed a masked organization with a group of young geniuses of human Taoism. They suffered heavy casualties when they went outside the circle together. Wangshen hegemony lost his swordsman and couldn't kill Jin Renfeng. Dongfang Gaiyu said speechlessly. No way. Young people today are too impulsive. If you want to go outside the circle, you must at least be invincible inside the circle, or go outside to find death. Li Zan. Young people are frivolous and ambitious, look down on their predecessors, and doubt authority. This is the path that many young geniuses take. It's just that they are more unlucky and have encountered an enemy they can't fight. Outside world. Wang Quan Tianxia looked at Dongfang Gaiyu and others with some embarrassment, but he was not an ordinary person after all, and he quickly recovered his calmness and composure. I saw a fight here when I was passing by, so I came to see it out of good intentions. After all, Wang Quan and Dongfang are the mainstays of human Taoism, and they should help each other. Wangshen Tianxia explained, and then looked at Dongfang Gaiyu curiously and asked, I heard that Mr. Dongfang has passed away. Could it be that this is a rumor? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 192. Since ancient times, the beauty has been bad. Who cares about the life and death of ugly ghosts? In the chat group, Dongfang Gaiyu asked, Master Group Owner, do you need your own hands on this traveler? Li Zan replied, better so. Dongfang Gaiyu. If that's the case, then I'll take him away. Although he's not the heir to the royal family, it's a bit troublesome for me to kill him in front of everyone. Dongfang Gaiyu said that for the sake of the entire human race, it is not appropriate for the royal family and the Dongfang family to have a violent conflict. Outside world, Dongfang Gaiyu looked at Wangquan Tianxia with a smile but not a smile, and said, little friend is joking. This old man was just a suspended animation before, but now he has recovered. If it weren't for this suspended animation, I can't see that Shinhashan Villa has so many hearts. Unscrupulous. Wangquan Tianxia smiled and said, if that's the case, then it's really good. The predecessors are the pillars of my human Taoism, and the peace and tranquility of human beings still need the protection of the predecessors. The embarrassed King Quan Tianxia, with doubts and incomprehension, dealt with Dongfang Gaiyu a few words, and left here very decisively. What the hell is going on? Dongfang Gaiyu is not dead. Where's Jin Renfeng? I didn't see him just now. Could it be because of my intervention that there was a chain reaction? Possible. After all, 480. Because of my intervention, Jin Renfeng attacked Dongfang Gaiyu in advance. Wangshen Tianxia stood on the flying sword with a gloomy face, thinking while returning to Wangshen Villa. Click. Suddenly, the space where Wang Quan Tianxia and the others were located changed, and transparent objects that were shattered like mirrors appeared around them, surrounding them. What happened? Wang Quan Tianxia and the others were startled. They quickly gathered together, and looked at the changing space around them with vigilance. A space crack appeared in front of them. Li Zan floated out from it, and looked at Wang Quan Tian and others with a smile. It's you. Wangshen Tianji's pupils shrank. He had just seen Li Zan in Shenwoshan village. It's just that his mind was full of Dongfang Lone Moon's resurrection, so he didn't get distracted by Li Zan. Now he focused his attention on Li Zan, and immediately realized that Li Zan was wrong. Li Zan's outfit is also too modern, a bit out of tune with everyone in this world. And if you think about it carefully, the previous Dongfang Lonely Moon is also very wrong. Why are the cracks on his face similar to Impure World reincarnation? Reborn. A look of shock appeared on Wang Quan Tianji's face. Did he meet his peers? Pills? The colleague is the enemy. The colleague he met seems to be stronger than him. Fight. After realizing that Li Zan's strength may be stronger than him, Wang Quan's eyes suddenly turned red, and he did not naively think that he could live peacefully with Li Zan. He put himself in Li Zan's position and thought for a while, and found that if he were Li Zan, he would also hunt down other travelers. The Sword of Kingship. Wangshen Tianxia took out his trump card, and a sword with the word Wangshen engraved on the hilt flew out of him, and was held in his hand at once. A sword of heaven and earth. Wang Quan Tianxia used his ultimate move without saying a word, and slashed Li Zan in front of him with a sword. He thought that even if he couldn't kill Li Zan, he had to break the space blockade that Li Zan set up around him, so that he could escape. When Wangshen Tianji's handmaster was on the Wangshen sword, a magic talisman flew out from his body, which instantly made Wangshen Tianji's aura soar to a level that was enough to match Dongfang Lonely Moon. The incomparably violent golden sword light ripped apart everything and fell towards Li Zan with an unstoppable sword force to split him in two. Yes, a strong attack. Li Zan looked at the sharp sword falling from the sky, commented in a calm tone, and raised his hand to construct a space barrier in front of him. The rays of light from the space gem and the power gem were entangled with each other, and the space barrier in front of them was purple and sparkling, and the slash of the king power sword was knocked down with a bang. You can only issue this attack once, right? It seems that this is your confidence in dealing with Jin Renfang. Li Zan looked at Wang Quan Tian with a cold expression. After the sword, his breath plummeted, and the magic talisman on his body also turned to ashes. It's my turn. The space gem in Li Zan's hand was lit up, and the powerful space pressure squeezed Wangshen Tianxia and the others, killing them all with a bang. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully killing a system owner and obtaining a complete collection of spells from the Fox Demon world. All the spells in the Fox Demon world, including human Taoism and demon magic, all appeared in Li Zan's mind and were mastered by his master. A lot of spells. Li Zan smacked his tongue secretly. The Taoism and sorcery in the Fox Demon world are more comprehensive than the magic in the world of Jackie Chan's adventures. Hey! Li Zan waved at Wang Quanjian, and the sword fell into Li Zan's hands immediately, and the powerful sword energy was released from the blade. In the chat group, Dongfang Gaiyu said in surprise, I didn't expect that Wangshen Tianxia actually took the Wangshen sword with him. Now the Wangshen family is about to cry to death. What kind of Wangshen family is the Wangshen family without the Wangshen Jin? Senju Tobarama suddenly said, Master of the group, in the original future, did the royal family perish? Li Zan. Destroyed. But unlike the Dongfang family, the Wangshen family was divided into two and turned into the Wang family and the Quan family. I can be sure that their inheritance has not disappeared, but whether their bloodline has been cut off, I don't care. Understood. Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. It's like fate, the family that was once the pinnacle will inevitably disappear in the end. Li Zan laughed. The family that was once the pinnacle will inevitably disappear. What you said reminds me of an old saying. Since ancient times, beauty is poor. Senju Tobarama sighed. The beauty is poor. It's like those families that were once prosperous. Li Zan sneered. Don't worry, just listen to what I have to say before you feel emotional. Since ancient times, the fate of beauty is ancient, and later generations added a sentence to it. Who cares about the life and death of ugly ghosts? Senju Tobarama. Li Zan. Since ancient times, who cares about the life and death of ugly people? This is the complete world. You feel that those families that flourished for a while will inevitably disappear, so what are those families that exist silently and disappear silently? Uchiha Madara. Every clan inevitably disappears, so clans crave fame and power. The former can be known after they disappear, and the latter can last as long as they exist. Namikaze Minato suddenly asked, Sir, are you going to enter this world? Li Zan. No, the world doesn't need me to save. Dongfang Gaiyu said with a smile. Master, how about letting me stay in this world? I want to try to change this world. Li Zan. No problem. At Ward Stark, prepare him some more management books. Howard Stark. Received? Han Fei. Master, is this world over? Li Zan. Yeah, just leave the follow-up to Dongfang Gyu to deal with it. You also want me to do it for you, but you wish? Han Fei. Yeah, I don't know if I'm dead. If I don't know if I'm dead or not, however, there's nothing I can do in my attribute list. Li Zan said indifferently. For the sake of you being able to join my chat group, I can help you without payment. Sword God Ryoma. No way. I remember that the group owner tried every means to get things from us. Li Zan snorted coldly. Can this kind of thing be compared at the moment? What's more, I know very well that Han Fei is really poor. Han Fei. As an ordinary person, Han Fei really didn't have any treasures on his body, and his attribute column was also shabby. Gold Thief Wu Nan. So the reason why the group owner is so generous is because he thinks that there is no chance for each sound. Because he can't squeeze the oil and water, he has no choice but to choose the generous free. Li Zan laughed and scolded. What nonsense is talking about the truth? If you are so honest, you will be banned. Han Fei gave Li Zan the passport of his own world, and Li Zan immediately used him to go to the world of Tianxing Juge. As soon as he came to this world, Li Zan immediately summoned a large number of Black Shadow ninjas and ordered them to investigate important information in this world. Han Fei in the chat group couldn't help but ask, Master, can you reveal the original future as usual? I bet that my death must be related to the traveler. He couldn't wait to kill me, definitely because of the future. I will threaten him. Li Zan laughed. You are quite confident, Han Fei said with a smile. Of course, according to my original plan, after I return to Serbia, I will assist my father and king, carry out drastic reforms in the country, and achieve a prosperous country and a strong army. Only when the country is prosperous and strong can I unify this troubled world. Golden Lion Shiki. 3.7, Forbidden Ha Ha Ha. Reunification of troubled times. I like your ambition. One Piece Roger. Is this also a chaotic world? It seems that the leader of the group is going to save this world. Han Fei said solemnly. If possible, I hope that the master of the group will leave me the opportunity to save the world. Ending the troubled times and realizing peace and reunification were once a dream that I was willing to use my life to realize. Li Zan laughed. Yes, if you want to end this world with your own hands, I will definitely fulfill your wish. Han Fei breathed a sigh of relief. Thank you, Lord of the group. One Piece Roger asked curiously. What does this world look like? We have come into contact with several different types of troubled times. Which kind of troubled times does this world belong to? Li Zan. This world has 7 countries standing side by side and fighting each other. Like the Hokage world, it is a chaotic world caused by national struggles. The Pirate world and the Crimson Eye world are the chaos caused by the corruption of the ruling institutions. The Fox Demon the world of Little Matchmaker, the troubled times brought about by racial rivalry. Han Fei. I am the son of the monarch of the Cold Kingdom, and the Cold Kingdom is also one of the 7 major countries. My birth is considered to be the top group in this world, but it is a pity that Sidewell is the weakest of the 7 major countries. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 193 The Embarrassed Traverser. Han Fei said that although his country is the weakest among the 7 major countries, he has been studying abroad for many years and has cultivated good skills. As long as he is allowed to return to the country to take power and flex his muscles, he will surely make his country stronger, and domination of the world will not be a problem. Han Fei in the chat group asked again, Master Group Owner, what is the original future of this world? I want to know if I have unified this troubled world. Li Zan. What a pity, even the original future you couldn't unify the troubled world. Han Fei asked in surprise. Why? I think my talent is enough to turn the world around. Li Zan sneered. Han Fei, do you think your abilities are too high? I admit that you are indeed very talented, and the cards in your hands are too bad. Han Fei humbly asked for advice. Master, can you tell me why I failed? I don't think I failed because of my lack of ability. Li Zan. If you really want to say, it makes sense that your failure is due to lack of ability. If your ability is outrageous, you can win with a bad card. Han Fei was helpless. Okay, I'm not proud anymore, Lord of the group, please tell me straight. Why did I fail in the end with my ability? Li Zan. Because the country you chose is too bad, didn't you say it just now? Your cold country is the weakest of the 7 major countries. The geographical location of Serbia is too bad, and it is almost 15 if you want to become stronger. Impossible things. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, why can't this country become stronger? Li Zan. The geographical location of the Cold Kingdom is the same as that of the Fire Kingdom, and there are hostile countries in all directions. The difference is that the Fire Kingdom is the strongest of all countries, while the Cold Kingdom is the weakest of all countries. Uchiha Madara sneered and said, that is to say, although this country is a big country in name, it is essentially no different from a small country. Living in the cracks of a big country is destined to become a battlefield for other countries. Li Zan. That's right. There is a saying that specifically describes the geographical location of a country, Golden Horn and Silver Edge Grass Belly. It says that the country in the corner of the map is the best, next to the side, and the worst in the center. Han happens to be located in the center of the map, surrounded by hostile countries. It can be called a 4-war place. Li Zan. If the cold country is strong enough, it's okay to say, but it is the weakest. This means that no matter which direction it expands, it must fight against a stronger country than it, and guard against the other 3 enemy attack in the direction. Uchiha Madara. Unless they have a superpower of an enemy country, it is impossible for this country to rule the world. Li Zan said with a smile. It's a pity that there is no such thing as a strong enemy in this world. A huge army is the most powerful weapon in this world. Whitebeard. Then Han Fei, you don't have to struggle, it's useless. Han Fei argued with reason. Your judgment is too early, right? I have a way to reverse the situation in the Han country. As long as I establish a common enemy for all countries, and then let the Han country work with other countries, I can break the deadlock in the cold country. Han Fei sneered. It's a coincidence that there is the most powerful Qin state among the 7 kingdoms in the west of the Cold Kingdom, and it has already shown the attitude of sweeping the world. Under the common threat, the Cold Kingdom can join the other 5 countries to defeat Qin. The country. In this way, the Cold Country has the opportunity to develop westward. Li Zan. You think this kind of thing too smoothly. The strategy of combining vertical and horizontal is not the first one that you came up with. However, after so many years, Qin state is still growing steadily, and you are sure that you can unite with others. The state defeats the Qin state? Li Zan. Besides, the strength of the country is also an important reliance for dividing up the spoils. With just the strength of Saigo, are you sure it can eat up the bridgehead for the westward development? Han Fei said firmly. It's up to people. Li Zan said with a smile. Okay. Even if you can overcome these external difficulties, how do you solve the internal problems? You are almost like Sanagakure in the Hokage world. You are obviously the weakest, and you still think about internal fights all day long. Li Zan. First of all, it's your father. As the monarch of the cold country, he has no ambitions, and he can't even manage his own subordinates, causing chaos within the country. As the head of the civil service, the prime minister is a stubborn and corrupt old school. Ji Wuya, the leader of the generals, is also a big traitor. Li Zan. So, do you understand the situation you are going to face? If you want to represent Shangguo to become stronger, you must make drastic changes to the game. This requires the unreserved support of a master with real power. Does your father have that courage? Li Zan. Even if your father is willing to support you, you will have to face the obstruction of the head of the civil service and the head of the military. You don't have any cronies in the Han Dynasty court. Are you sure those officials will listen to you? If they give if you make a stumbling block, any decision can be implemented by them into a policy that will bring disaster to the country and the people. Han Fei. Stressed. When Li Qinxuan talked about the external environment, Han Fei could still speak his mind with confidence. After all, he had already conceived these things for many years. But the complicated situation in the country gave him a headache, and he didn't understand these things at all. Not afraid of god-like opponents, but afraid of pig-like teammates. The key is that his teammates are not pigs, but the wolves that Ishin wants to fight against him. After being speechless for a moment, Han Fei suddenly asked curiously, since I failed in the end, why did this transmigrator kill me? Li Zan said with a smile. Maybe it's because you have a good luck in peach blossoms, and the transmigrator is afraid that you will snatch beauty from him. Maybe it's because you are clever, you can't succeed but you can't fail. Han Fei said helplessly. If it is the first reason, I will feel very sad. If it is the second reason, I can still accept it. Although my talent is not enough to make my dream come true, I at least can block the ambitions of others. Outside world. A large black shadow appeared beside Li Zan, and the shadow soldiers came out one by one to report to Li Zan what they had discovered. The silent communication between Li Zan and Ninja made Han Fei in the chat group anxious and couldn't help asking. Master, has the world changed a lot? I hope my relatives and friends are not affected by this spread. With an odd smile on his face, Li Zan shook his head and said, it's a pity that your relatives and friends have already been affected. Your sister, Princess Red Lotus, has already been sent to Qin. Han Fei was in a hurry. How could this happen? Wait, did this incident happen in the original future? Li Zan. This incident did not appear in the original future, so I can be sure that this is something made by the transmigrators. After all, your sister, Princess Red Lotus, is also a rare beauty in this era, and it is normal to be coveted by others. Han Fei was angry. Master Group Owner, can you help me rescue my sister? I beg you? Li Zan laughed. Don't worry, you will see him soon. Space is like nothing to me, and the Sombra ninjas have also collected your life information. The space gem on Li Zan's finger glowed, and he disappeared directly from the spot, appearing in Shenyang, the capital of the Qin state. Prime Minister's house. Seeing the scene outside through Li Zan, Han Fei was a little surprised and said, the traveler is the family of Lu Buwei, the Prime Minister of the Qin state. No wonder he was able to get Red Lotus here by his own means. Li Zan shook his head and said, no, things are more exaggerated than you think. The transmigrator is not Lu Buwei's family, he is a sole transmigrator who took Lu Buwei away. That is to say, 480, the transmigrator this time is Lu Buwei. Dongfang Gaiyu was surprised. Seize the house. Uchiha Madara puzzled. What is a house grab? Li Zan explained. To use an analogy, Senju Tobarama's soul merges with your soul, and after the fusion, a whole new soul is created, and the consciousness is dominated by Senju Tobarama, and this is Senju Tobarama who took you away. Uchiha Madara disdainfully said, he wants to take me away with his poor mental strength? Just kidding. Senju Tobarama. Master, don't compare me to Uchiha Madara in the future, I have a cleanliness addiction. Uchiha Madara rages. Damn. Senju Hashirama spoke silently, interrupting his younger brother's daily quarrel with his friends. This means that the transmigrator took Lu Buwei, right? Li Zan. That's right. The Black Shadow Soldier told me that the current Lu Buwei is very different from the future Lu Buwei. Many of the measures he took are not what people in this era should know about. Han Fei said depressedly. In other words, the old guy Lu Buwei was the one who hit my sister? Damn, wait, my sister hasn't come over yet? Li Zan comforted. Don't worry, I've sensed it, your sister is still a day away from here. Don't worry, Lu Buwei won't live by that time. Outside world. Li Zan concealed himself and used his spatial ability to enter Lu Buwei's mansion without a sound, and soon found Lu Buwei who was thinking. Such a pity. Lu Buwei's identity is too embarrassing, otherwise I really don't mind helping Brother Zheng. No way. For my little life, I can only let Brother Zheng die. My embarrassing status, no matter how talented I am, Brother Zheng will not allow me. Lu Buwei muttered in his mouth while thinking. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 194. What kind of fairy method is this? In the chat group, Dad suddenly said, is Lu Buwei the Lu Buwei from the Qin dynasty? Dad is a researcher of antiques, and he still has some understanding of the ancient history of the East. Li Zan. Finally found out. Dad, I didn't think about it before. After all, the worlds I have come into contact with before are not connected. And Qin Chao's words, are we in the same world? Li Zan. What a pity. You are not in the same world in different time periods, but in different worlds. The Qin dynasty in this world may be somewhat similar to what you know, but it is also very different. Howard Stark. My world also has many similarities with the world of Jackie Chan's adventures. I checked the information just now, and my world also has Qin Chao, Lu Buwei and even Han Fei. Li Zan. The world of Jackie Chan's adventures has demons and mages, and the Marvel world has mutants, supreme mages and even aliens. The Qin dynasty in your place is very different from this world. Howard Stark laughed and said, when I was searching for Lu Buwei's information, I found some lace news about him. Is he the biological father of Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng? The mutant Black Emperor said something different. He actually greened his emperor. This kid is really kind, aren't you afraid of death? Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Wanyue. The political brother he said just now is the emperor who was greened by him, right? No, to be precise, it should be the emperor who was greened by Lu Buwei. Uchiha Shisui. The traveler found out that he had taken Lu Buwei, and was worried that the emperor would kill Lu Buwei after finding out what he had done, so he thought it would be better to strike first. Dad. No. The political brother he was referring to should be Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng, the son of Lu Buwei in the Lace News, and Qin Shi Huang who later unified the 7 heroes of Sengoku. Dongfang Gaiyu said speechlessly. What is the traveler worried about? His son is the future emperor. According to what he just said, he actually wants to kill his son. Li Zan sneered. Dongfang Gaiyu, are you too naive? Heaven has no father and son. For Qin Shi Huang, the existence of Lu Buwei is a threat to him, and it can even be said to be a shame. Howard Stark. That's right. Although history records that Lu Buwei committed suicide by taking poison, the Lace News indicates that his suicide may have been coerced by Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng. Li Zan. Of course. Historical materials are not necessarily credible, after all, the literati of master pens are often shameless. But this kind of thing doesn't matter, it's not the same world anyway. Mutant He Huang. Suddenly I feel that Qin Shi Huang's nominal father is a little pitiful, and he was given green by his own men. Wait, Qin Shi Huang's nominal father is not a woman, right? I remember that King Arthur was a woman. Lancelot. Howard Stark. No, Qin Shi Huang's father is definitely a man. And Qin Shi Huang Ying Zheng's birth was not because he was green, but because he shamelessly robbed Lu Buwei's woman. Mutant Black Emperor. What? Tell me carefully, I don't have a computer here. Howard Stark. The historical data on my side shows that Qin Shi Huang's mother was originally Lu Buwei's concubine, and later, Qin Shi Huang's nominal father took a fancy to her, and they communicated without Lu Buwei's consent. Howard Stark. After realizing this, Lu Buwei gave his concubine to the king for the sake of power and status. Because there was a vague period of time in between, there was a dispute as to who the son of Qin Shi Huang was. Han Fei said speechlessly. Originally, I thought King Qin was quite pitiful, but I didn't expect him to be a good person. Occupying the daughter of his vassals made the origin of his only son a mystery. Is this a self-inflicted act of his own? Mutant Black Emperor. Is that King Qin really a man? Han Fei said helplessly. I can tell you with certainty that he is indeed a man. Li Zan. King Arthur is a special case, and it's rare for a man to change to a woman like this. Han Fei. Master, do you want to kill this transmigrator immediately? Li Zan. Of course. Why, what else do you want to do with him? Save it. I can tell you with certainty that you are not his opponent. Maybe you are more intelligent than him, but his knowledge, vision, experience and even material conditions are far beyond yours. Han Fei. I believe this, since I have become history in other worlds, as a traveler, he should have more excellent knowledge. It's better to kill him, it will save trouble later. Outside world. Li Zan stared at Lu Bue for a while, and gave up the idea of communicating with this traveler. From the intelligence gathered by the Sombra Corps, Li Zan could know that the system of the Traverser was not combat type. This Traverser's system can provide him with seeds, technology and even knowledge from later generations, and it can also give him some means of the low martial world. But the system can't give him something with powerful combat power. Li Zan raised his palm calmly, and the power gem emitted a purple radiance, directly knocking Lu Bue into nothingness. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully killing a system owner and obtaining the skill. Seize the house, can perfectly capture the body of others. Li Zan. It's really a rubbish skill, do you need to use the means of robbing oneself? Li Zan was speechless and disappointed. As soon as his body used his spatial ability to leave here, Li Zan appeared outside Shenyang City, in front of a party sending his relatives. The Red Lotus Princess of the Cold Kingdom was caught by Lu Bue and threatened King Han to marry her. At this time, the Red Lotus Princess stayed in the sedan chair. The invisible conqueror's haki was released from Li Zan, instantly making irrelevant people faint. Princess Red Lotus noticed the strangeness outside, and quickly got out of the sedan chair, just in time to see Han Fei walking out of the coffin. Brother, why are you? Red Lotus looked at Han Fei with joy, and soon realized that Han Fei was wrong. What's going on with you? It feels like you have a strange disease. Han Fei said helplessly. Don't mention it, it's hard to say anything, I'm here to tell you good news. You don't need to marry that bad old man Lu Bue. Do you want to leave with me now? Han Lien was startled, and said with a sad expression, but my father told me that if I don't do this, the country will be in danger. Han Fei smiled and said, don't worry, Lu Bue has died inexplicably, and his threats are meaningless. Princess Red Lotus happily said, really? Then I will definitely leave with you. Li Zan said indifferently, it's not suitable for you to chat here, is there any place you want to go? Red Lotus looked at Li Zan curiously and asked Han Fei, brother, who is he? Han Fei hesitated. You can call him Yi. Li Zan looked at Red Lotus up and down and smiled. Li Zan, this is my name, nice to meet you, Princess Red Lotus. Han Fei looked at Li Zan vigilantly, and suddenly felt a sense of danger that his sister would be kidnapped. He scratched his head and said, then what, Mr. Li Zan, can you send us back to the cold country? Li Zan raised his eyebrows and asked, are you sure? It's not a good choice for you to go back there. Han Fei said helplessly, do I have any other choice? Li Zan touched his chin and said, don't say it, it really exists. I can give you the Taoism of the Fox Demon world, and you can try to become a strong person in this world. In the chat group, Senju Tobarama couldn't help but speak. Master Group Owner, there should be no way for people who have been reincarnated to continue to become stronger, right? Li Zan. Who said that? People in the state of reincarnation have their bodies made of rice soil. They don't have flesh and blood, so the way of cultivating the body can't make them stronger. However, Taoism in the Fox Demon world. It is the soul that cultivates. Senju Tobarama asked in astonishment, is this still possible? Uchiha Madara pointedly said, even if you don't cultivate your soul, people who are in a state of reincarnation can become stronger. Who said that the only way to become stronger is to strengthen the soul and body? Is it not possible to cultivate more and stronger ninjutsu and even fairy jutsu? Get stronger? Senju Tobarama said angrily, this is the forbidden technique I invented, what are you proud of? Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. What if this is the forbidden technique you invented? You don't understand what you invented, it only shows that you are an idiot. Han Fei outside was thoughtful. After Li Zan's previous explanation, he has realized that it is a difficult and almost impossible thing to make his country strong and sweep the 6 countries. In this case, it seems like a good idea to cultivate Taoism from other worlds and make oneself strong enough to be an enemy of a country. In the chat group, Li Zan continued, and Han Fei, don't forget, the influence left by the traveler on Qin is still there. Even if he is dead, money, the policies he left behind can still make Qin the country continues to grow stronger. Han Fei said in a different way, Master, are you sure? Li Zan. Is there any doubt about this? Shang Yang has been dead for so many years, isn't the measures he left behind to make Qin stronger? Han Fei said helplessly. I mean that after Lu Bue's death, his political enemies are likely to liquidate him, and the policies he left behind may also be erased. Li Zan. Don't be stupid, Shang Yang was also liquidated. Has his legacy been wiped out? You can't pin your hope of success on the stupidity of the enemy. Han Fei said helplessly. No way, I started with a bad card, there is no way I can't expect the enemy to be stupid. Outside world. Princess Red Lotus looked at Li Zan and Han Fei, and asked in confusion, why did you guys stop talking all of a sudden? What happened to the Fox Demon Taoist priest just now? Li Zan smiled and said, let your brother explain this matter to you, now, I'll send you back to China first. The space gem flashed, and the surrounding scene was spinning. Li Zan took the Red Lotus Princess Han Fei back to Xinjiang, the capital of Serbia. You. Princess Red Lotus was stunned. What kind of magic trick is this? You two talk slowly, I'll go around first. Li Zan said to the two of them and left immediately. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 195 I will not refute this time, in the chat group. Dad. Oops. Why did the screen suddenly go black? Senju Hashirama said, very experienced. This is the lord of the group who closed our perception of the outside world, and we can no longer observe everything around us through him. Senju Hashirama wondered, how could this be? After the group owner became 10 Tails Jinchuriki, there should be no need to go to the toilet and sleep. Why should we turn off our perception? Shiki, the golden lion, said speechlessly. Does this even need to be said? When the group owner met a beautiful girl before, he also closed our perception. Han Fei asked nervously. Master group leader, where have you been? It shouldn't be my father's harem. Li Zan said speechlessly. What are you thinking? I came to a place called Zilanzan. Speaking of which, the fate with you here is not small. Han Fei asked curiously, is there a lot of fate with me? Li Zan replied. Yeah, in the original future, you met like-minded partners and friends here. In order to realize your wish to sweep the world, you set up an organization called Quicksand with them here. We must eradicate Ji Wuya, who is covering the sky with one hand in the cold country. Han Fei suddenly said. I suddenly thought of a question. In the original future, what happened to Red Lotus after I failed? Li Zan. Red Lotus became a killer and joined a killer group. The predecessor of that killer group was the Quicksand you founded. Han Fei felt a little unbelievable. Can a character like Red Lotus become a killer? Li Zan. People grow and change, and suffering can change a person. Han Fei said decisively. I think clearly, I want to learn Taoism. Since knowledge can't help me sweep the troubled world, I want Master 480 people to have the strength of the enemy country. Li Zan. No problem. The King Power Sword can be loaned to you, it will be much easier for you to help you. This is the top magic weapon in the Fox Demon world, don't humiliate its name. Howard Stark. Lord Group Leader, shouldn't it be more useful to support Han Fei's science? For example, give him a few planes and tanks, this thing will definitely help him easily wipe out the troubled world. Li Zan. This idea is also possible, but the style of painting is not in line with this world. And don't people need to control planes and tanks? Even if there are unmanned systems, it is not easy to use in this world without any infrastructure. Howard Stark smiled and said, didn't you seize an all-purpose warhammer? I remember that it is the technological crystallization of the cosmic empire. As long as the master has the technology, it is not difficult to develop a machine that can help Han Fei dominate the world. Li Zan said with a smile. This is my negligence. I said that I would give you the universal warhammer to study. Don't worry, I will let the clone send it to you. Li Zan created 2 avatars, one with the universal warhammer to send to Howard Stark in Marvel World, and the other with the King Power Sword to send to Han Fei. What's this? The purple girl beside Li Zan looked curious. She was forcibly pulled over by Li Zan. The purple girl, who was originally the boss, was suddenly sent to Li Zan's side by a force of space. After realizing the mystery of Li Zan's strong Yamato, she immediately switched to a service worker. Li Zan explained calmly. They are my doppelgangers, and there are some things that need to be handled by them. The purple girl nodded and said, BFDH, no wonder they look exactly the same as you, isn't there any big difference from you? Li Zan pondered. The difference is big, after all, they are essentially insubstantial. What do you want to learn? The purple girl was surprised. I can also learn this magical method? Li Zan laughed. Of course, but these things may be troublesome for you to use. I suggest you learn another thing. Have you heard of Taoist magic? If purple girl wants to learn Shadow Clone, Li Zan can naturally make her get what she wants. Even if she can't cultivate chakra herself because of different worlds, Li Zan can share her chakra with her. But for this world, chakra and ninjutsu are always a little out of tune. Li Zan is more willing to teach Xenu the Taoism of the Fox Demon world. This thing is more practical than ninjutsu, at least it doesn't have to be as troublesome as the seal. In the chat group, Han Fei, Master Group Leader, I have already received the Wong Quan sword. When will Taoism be given to me? Ding. Li Zan sent an exclusive red envelope, Daomen spell, to group member Han Fei. Uchiha Madara was surprised. Damn it. Can the group owner send the skills he has to others? In this way, all of us can have the abilities of other people in the chat group. Senju Hashirama. It's really a way to get stronger. We can get a huge amount of skills by simply taking a red envelope. Li Zan poured cold water and said, save it, it's my privilege as the group owner to get the formed skills directly from you. The only thing I sent to Han Fei is the training method, and he has to practice it himself. Han Fei. Indeed. But this cultivation method suits my taste very well, and I feel that I can cultivate it to a very strong level in a very short period of time. Dad was surprised. The magic of the Fox Demon world is so simple? Li Zan. No, people are good at wisdom but not good at power. The Taoist magic of the Fox Demon world is for smart people to practice. The higher the IQ, the easier it is to practice. Li Zan remembered the attribute template he had come into contact with before. Intelligence. This attribute is equivalent to blue bars in mana, and the intelligence of the fox demon world is like this. Han Fei himself is a smart person, and the Taoist magic of the fox demon world is naturally in line with him. Uchiha Madara. If this is the case, then the Taoist magic of the fox demon world has nothing to do with Hashirama. Lord Group Master, can you give me a copy of the cultivation method? Senju Tobarama complained. Madara, can you ask for a face? You actually praise yourself for being smart in disguise. A loser who has been fooled for half his life has the face to praise himself for being smart? The world is so crazy. Just when Uchiha Madara and Senju Tobarama were about to lift up again, Howard Stark suddenly said, Master, there's a problem in the Marvel world. Li Zan asked curiously, what's wrong? It can't be Thanos who beat him. Mutant Black Emperor. It's not a problem with aliens, it's a problem inside our planet. To be precise, it's a problem caused by our mutants. Howard Tucker. That's right. A mutant named Apocalypse suddenly appeared on the Earth. It is said that he was the king of ancient Egypt thousands of years ago. Then he fell into a deep sleep for some unknown reason, and suddenly woke up not long ago. Mutant Black Emperor. After awakening, this guy showed his power in front of everyone. He disintegrated the city next to the pyramid, built a huge pyramid in a few minutes, and declared himself to rule the world. Lu Xing suddenly said, it sounds a bit like the Imperial Soil technique. Haven't the human beings used nuclear weapons? No matter how powerful the power is, nuclear weapons are still a threat to them. In the star-stealing world where Lucy is located, even those with supernatural abilities are not so powerful that they are invincible, and modern weapons can destroy them as well. Mutant Black Emperor. Humans have used nuclear weapons, but Apocalypse has the corresponding mutant abilities, and he makes human nuclear weapons ineffective. Not only that, but modern weapons such as aircraft and tanks are also ineffective against him. Howard Stark. Apocalypse announced that he would establish his own kingdom on the Earth and let the mutants have a superior status. Professor Charles has made many efforts before, and finally let humans and mutants coexist peacefully. As a result, Apocalypse ran as soon as it came out. The contradiction between humans and mutants intensified again. Mutant Black Emperor. This kind of thing doesn't matter at all, right? The most important question now is, we need to solve the trouble of Apocalypse. Uchiha Madara. What's up with Magneto, who always advocates making mutants superior to others? Howard Tucker. He, like the Mutant Black Emperor, did not choose to join the Apocalypse. Although all three of them wanted to build a mutant empire, the empire they wanted was their own. The Mutant Black Emperor said with disdain, everyone has been a leader, and Tianqi's theory can't fool us. If we want to be superior to others, we can do it with our own strength. Why do we have to run to Tianqi as a subordinate? Senju Tobarama. There is another important reason why you want the group owner to get rid of Apocalypse. He has become your competitor, right? You and Uchiha Madara really are a kind of person. Uchiha Madara snorted, I won't refute this time. Li Zan said helplessly, it's really troublesome. If that's the case, then I'll go meet that mutant. Howard Tucker reminded. Lord Group Master, Apocalypse does not have only one ability. The number of abilities he has displayed is not under the almighty Warhammer. Li Zan. Rest assured, I don't know anything about Apocalypse. He can disable nuclear weapons and modern aircraft and tanks because he has the ability to control technological equipment through electromagnetic waves. He can decompose the city next to the pyramid and form a new pyramid because he masters the ability of molecular reorganization and even atomic transformation, which is quite excellent in scientific research. The Mutant Black Emperor was surprised. This guy still has scientific research ability? Li Zan snorted coldly, don't underestimate him. He was able to use a piece of memory to create a mental shielding helmet out of sand. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 196. Maybe you can try it. The Mutant Black Emperor said he couldn't believe it. He can use a piece of memory to make a spiritual shielding helmet from sand? Li Zan replied indifferently. That's right, it's the helmet that you and Magneto have both used, which can block others' mind control over you. He looked at Magneto's memory and made the same helmet. Howard Stark. If he can even do this kind of thing, then his ability is terrible. This shows that his mutant ability has reached the atomic level, and he can even freely create elements. The Mutant Black Emperor said with a heavy heart. That's right, I have also studied that helmet, and the material to make it is very rare. Otherwise, I will definitely make more. Li Zan. After Apocalypse built the pyramid, did he take action on Charles of the Mutant Academy? Howard Stark. I don't know this. Why did he want Charles to fight? Li Zan. Because Charles's mutant abilities are exactly what he needs. Where do you think his huge number of mutant abilities came from? The Mutant Black Emperor said in shock. Master, you don't want to say that he can take the power of others, right? Li Zan. Positive answer. He has the ability to take a house, and he can take over other people's bodies with his mutant abilities, and then convert other people's bodies into his own, so as to achieve the ability to take over each other. Howard Stark. Then he must have given up a lot of mutants. No wonder he has so many terrifying abilities. If that's the case, then it's normal for him to see Charles's telepathy abilities. The Mutant Black Emperor. Eric should also be his target, right? If it is me, can he take away my reincarnated body? Li Zan. I don't know, if you are interested, you can let him try it. Mutant Black Emperor. Forget it. Howard Tucker. The Mutant Academy is empty. It seems that Apocalypse has already shot at Charles. I think he may have the ability of space class, otherwise it is impossible to steal Charles silently. Li Zan. Space-like abilities, he really has that. Marvel World. Lee appeared in front of Howard Stark, and the two Infinity Stones glowed, quickly replenishing the energy consumed before. Don't worry, I'm going to meet the Apocalypse now. Li Zan smiled slightly, the space gem glowed, and took him directly out of here, appearing in the pyramid just built by Apocalypse. At the very center of the pyramid, there were two people lying on two coffin-like stone platforms. They were Apocalypse and Charles, the headmaster of the Mutant Academy. In the chat group, Howard Stark, who saw the scene of the pyramid, quickly asked, Master Group Owner, wouldn't Apocalypse be taking the house? Li Zan. The answer is correct. The Queen not only masters a large number of mutant abilities, but also masters powerful technologies that the Earthlings cannot possess. Do you think the pyramids are just for viewing? This is the creation of God's own mutant abilities. Technology equipment. Dongfang Gaiyu complained. I thought it was some kind of special ability, it has something to do with technology? I feel like these two things don't go together. Li Zan. In the Marvel world, magic and technology are not branch houses. Even Asgard, the so-called Protoss, is a joint development of magic and technology. Why can't it be related to technology? Howard Tucker. If I remember correctly, mutants are also products of technology, right? Or the creation of mutants has a huge relationship with magic? Li Zan. Mutants are the product of scientific experiments. The Celestials imprint magic in the genes of the mutants. Each mutant has their own innate magic, which is their mutant ability. Outside world. The complicated lines inside the pyramid suddenly lit up, as if energy was injected from the top of the pyramid, and all the lines flickered from top to bottom. Li Zan calmly raised his hand and waved, and a purple ray of light shot out from the power gem, banging out a hole in the pyramid. Below, Apocalypse, Charles and the Professor, who were lying side by side on two stone platforms, opened their eyes at the same time. How did you get in? Tian Shi sat up calmly and looked at Li Zan with sharp eyes. He made defenses on the pyramid, and it was not easy for people outside to get in, not only to break the defense he left behind, but also to get his attention. But Li Zan appeared without warning, the defenses he left did not seem to be activated, and the pyramid was broken from the inside. Li Zan laughed. You are not the only one who has the ability in space. Professor Charles looked at Li Zan and shouted, this sudden mutant Apocalypse is a lunatic, he must be stopped. Apocalypse said indifferently, Charles, you have too much prejudice against me. I was the king who once ruled the earth, and it was only because I slept for too long that I was deprived of my power. Now I wake up and come back, but I want to get back what I once was. Just what was lost. Apocalypse looked at Li Zan and calmly solicited him, would you consider doing something for me? I can make you stronger than you are now. I have a special ability that can enhance the potential and strength of mutants. Li Zan laughed. Your ability is really good, but unfortunately I'm not a mutant, so it doesn't work for me. And you ask me to do things for you, don't you think it's a bit ridiculous? It's impossible for the strong to obey the weak. Tianchi shook his head and said, child, arrogance and arrogance will kill you. Li Zan laughed out loud. This sentence is the most suitable for you. Frog at the bottom of the well, let's see the vastness of the world. Tianchi sneered when he heard the words, waved his hand at Li Zan, and wanted to use his ability to decompose Li Zan into atomic form. As a result, the power in Li Zan's hand shines like a jewel, and the purple light blocks Apocalypse's mutant abilities. Apocalypse was taken aback. What is this? Li Zan said indifferently. This is the Infinity Stone, haven't you heard of it? Otherwise, how would I say you were a frog in a well? With one punch, the purple light and the blue light were entangled with each other, hitting Tian Qi fiercely. A lavender space barrier appeared on Tian's body, trying to block Li Zan's punch, but was easily smashed by Li Zan. Dot for flowers. After the space barrier was smashed, Tian Qi himself was directly exposed to Li Zan's fist and was directly beaten into nothingness. It's over. Li Zan shook his head and looked at Professor Charles beside him. Your students will be here soon, wait for them here by yourself. Professor Charles nodded and sighed softly. What a pity. The peaceful coexistence between humans and mutants that I had finally created, was suddenly disturbed by this apocalypse. Is what he said true? Li Zan said. It's true. He was the king of ancient Egypt thousands of years ago, and he built all the pyramids. He built these pyramids for exactly the same purpose as the pyramids are built today, to capture other mutants. Ability. Professor Charles suddenly asked curiously. Master, you said you knew the original future, right? Since the Sentinel robot is our enemy in the original future, how was the apocalypse destroyed? I think it should be it wasn't the master of the group who solved him. Point 0. Li Zan laughed. Don't you have a powerful student Qingray? She can completely destroy apocalypse by releasing her abilities. Although Tianqi's abilities are huge, they are crushed by Qingray in terms of level. Professor Charles's face changed, and he gave Li Zan a deep look, and said, I didn't expect that the group leader even knows Qin's abilities, so I have another question. Since Qin is so powerful, why are mutants still being attacked by sentinel robots? Extinct. Li Zan said. Because Qin's body was born with another dark personality, you know this. You have been using your ability to help her imprison that dark personality. After she released her power to kill Tianqi, the dark personality ran out. Professor Charles said with an ugly face. Dark Piano didn't do anything bad, right? Li Zan said. Of course she has done a lot of bad things, such as destroying your body and forcing you to flee to your brother's body. Of course, Qin's main character is still there, and that's why she can suppress herself and finally let her he was successfully killed. Professor Charles was silent. Li Zan did not stay any longer and left here directly. In the chat group, the mutant Black Emperor asked in surprise, Master, does Charles also have the ability to take away others? Li Zan. No, his ability should not be regarded as a snatch. Because his brother is a vegetative person without consciousness, and no one will rob him of the dominance of consciousness. The mutant Black Emperor breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. If he has the same ability as Apocalypse, it would be too dangerous. In other words, what happened to his powerful student? Even Apocalypse can kill it. Incredible. Quote. Li Zan. You, Eric, Charles, and even the Queen of Heaven, you are all 4-level mutants. And his student, Chingali, is a 5th-level mutant. The gap in level, Apocalypse's ability can't make up for it. The mutant Black Emperor said enthusiastically. Master, do I think there is any hope of recruiting Chingali? Li Zan laughed. Who knows? Maybe you can try. On. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 197 The Supreme Mage is in a hurry to die. In the chat group, Howard Stark suddenly said regretfully. Unfortunately, the mutant ability of Apocalypse is very good. If he is controlled, he should be able to play a great role in scientific research. The mutant Black Emperor asked. What are you talking about is his ability to create various materials that involve atomic level control. Li Zan. If it is this kind of ability, Universal Warhammer also has it. But you better not have too much expectation of this kind of ability, no ability is absolute. Shiki the Golden Lion asked curiously, is there a defect in this ability? Just like the creation of the ability of Paramesha Devil Fruit, once the person with the ability loses consciousness, it will return to its original state. Li Zan denied. No, the change of this ability to objects is permanent. It is not flawed in itself, it is just not as powerful as imagined. In the state of existence, Apocalypse and Universal Warhammer also have grade restrictions on the manufacture of materials. Howard Stark. I understand this, just like it's impossible to make another Omnipotent Warhammer. A lot of materials, Apocalypse and Omnipotent Warhammer can't be made, right? Li Zan replied. 480, that's right. Matter is different from matter, just like you are limited by the times and cannot make isotopic elements of space gems. The production of certain substances, the Universal Warhammer and the Apocalypse spell they couldn't do it as hard as they could, because they couldn't compress the atoms to that extent. Outside world. Li Zan is back in Howard Stark's lab, ready to check out his latest research. Suddenly, golden sparks appeared out of thin air, forming a circle in midair, and a bald woman in a yellow-brown monk robe walked out from inside. Who are you? Howard Stark's face changed, and all kinds of weapons immediately appeared in the laboratory, aiming at the bald woman who suddenly appeared. Howard, don't be unreasonable. This is the Supreme Mage Ji Yi. She protects the Earth from being invaded by the dimensional demon god, and is a person worthy of respect. Li Zan waved his hand calmly and asked Howard to put away all his weapons, while looking at Ji Yi who suddenly appeared with a curious expression. Ji Yi looked at Li Zan indifferently and said with a smile, as expected of an unexpected factor that appeared suddenly, you seem to know me very well. After my observation, it seems that you also have the ability to check the past and future. Li Zan said. Compared to the infinite future you see, the future I see is nothing. As for the past, you should be able to easily determine it, right? Ji Yi shook his head and said. The past is constant, and seeing it clearly is nothing. As for the future, although the number of futures I have seen is huge, it makes me unable to determine which one is the real future. Compared with this, I am more hope to have your ability to see that precise future. Li Zan smiled and said, Master Ji Yi, did you come to me specifically for my ability? Master Ji Yi shook his head and said, actually, when you appeared in this universe, I already noticed your existence. But at that time, I was busy resisting the invasion of the dimensional demon god, and I didn't come to see you the first time. Li Zan nodded and said, understood. Master Ji Yi forgets to sleep and eat for the peace and tranquility of the earth, which is admirable. Now that you have time to come to me, shouldn't it be to eradicate the unexpected factor of me? Ji Yi smiled and shook his head. No, I'm here to invite you to join Kamatage. If you want, I can even give you the position of the Supreme Mage. In the chat group, with Mage Ji Yi saying that he could give up the position of Supreme Mage, everyone in the chat group exploded. Senju Tobarama. Master Group Leader, isn't this Supreme Mage joking? How can you give up your rights and status when you meet? Uchiha Madara sneered. Maybe she has some unknown plot, and she can't be trusted just because she did justice. Mutant Black Emperor. Indeed. Even the bright purpose of saving the world can make people suspicious of darkness. Isn't this Ancient One mage the two Infinity Stones that are plotting against you? Dongfang Lonely Moon. It's possible. After all, she didn't appear before, but she appeared again after you owned two Infinity Stones. I think it's very likely because, before the group master, you were in the universe against the universe overlord Sano. It took her fame to get her to notice you and your two Infinity Stones at the same time. Li Zan. You guys think too much. Outside world. After casually dealing with the undead in the chat group, Li Zan curiously asked Master Ji Yi, why did you give me the position of Supreme Master? You should know that Strange is your heir. Mage Ji Yi replied. If Strange wants to inherit the position of the Supreme Mage, it will take at least 100 years to have the matching strength. Li Zan stunned. Hundreds of years. Master Ji Yi asked, what's wrong? Li Zan replied. In the future I know, you gave him the position of Supreme Master after 20 years. Master Ji Yi nodded and said, it's not surprising, after all, I have time magic that can speed up his growth. Even if he can't perfectly shoulder the task of the Supreme Mage, as long as he can block the Dimension Demon. There is a time gem as the core. The Eye of Agamotto, resisting the Dimension Demon is not a particularly difficult thing. Li Zan thoughtfully said, that means you've been impatient to wait and don't want to wait for Strange for 20 years. So you chose me and abandoned Strange. Master Ji Yi smiled and said, it's okay to say that, I think you are more suitable for the position of Supreme Master than Strange. I have confirmed it with the time gem, and you are completely trustworthy. Li Zan shook his head and said, you are wrong. The Supreme Master needs to maintain the peace of this universe, and it is impossible for me to stay at Kamatage in peace. You have found the wrong person, please come back. Master Ji Yi smiled and said, when did I say that the Supreme Mage will always stay in Kamatage to defend the Dimensional Demon God? Even without the presence of the Supreme Mage, Kamatage's magical fortifications can block the Dimension Demon God for a few years. There are a lot of Dimensional Demon Gods who want to attack the Earth. Even I can't fight against the invasion of several Dimensional Demon Gods at the same time. So what if there are several Dimension Demon Gods attacking the Earth at the same time? In order to prevent this from happening, Kamatage built a lot of magical fortifications. Master Ji Yi looked at Li Zan and asked with a smile, I know you have the ability to leave this universe, but you shouldn't come back for several years, right? As long as you can guarantee to come back once a year, you are qualified enough to serve Supreme Mage. She picked up the Eye of Agamotto on her body, and the magic power spread it to open it, and an emerald green time gem shone brightly in it. Master Ji Yi smiled and said, as long as you agree to take over the position of the Supreme Master, you will be in charge of this time gem. Li Zan stared at the time gem for a while, then nodded, sounds good, I agree. In the chat group, Senju Hashirama asked in a puzzled way, Master, is Ji Yi in a hurry to go somewhere? Li Zan. Hurry to die. Senju Hashirama. Li Zan. Don't get me wrong, it's just the death of the body. For a magician of his level, it's very difficult for the soul to be destroyed. Dad. It seems that the magicians in this world are similar to the magicians in our world. They are all cultivating spiritual souls. After the death of my father's master, the great master, his soul seems to have not completely disappeared. He is offering incense, and he can give Dad some guidance. Dongfang Lonely Moon. Then will the undead in their world be the same? Li Zan. Who knows? I don't know exactly how the mages in Jackie Chan's world died. They may not have died completely, but they certainly won't be free. Maybe they have some restrictions, after all. The righteousness of their world is very stingy. Howard Stark. Sir, what will happen to the mage in our world when she dies? For example, the Supreme Mage Ji Yi, what will happen to her after she dies? Li Zan. There is a god representing time in this universe, eternity. Ji Yi will follow him after his death. The mutant Black King asked, then will she come back when she dies? Li Zan. Probably not. She has guarded the earth for hundreds of thousands of years, and she is already tired of this job, or else she would not be anxious to die. You think the Supreme Master is a kind of enjoyment? Work. It's hard work. Dongfang Gaiyu. Have survived for thousands of years, so are you tired? 3.7 It seems that the longevity species also have troubles with the longevity species. Li Zan. I haven't finished talking yet. The tiredness of the work of the Supreme Mage is just one of the reasons why she wants to die. Another important reason is that she is now a huge hidden danger. Hazards that can destroy the planet. Mutant Black Emperor. Qingray. Could it be that there is a dark personality in the heart of Master Ji Yi? Li Zan. That's not true. Magicians cultivate the spirit and soul, and the body is not much stronger than ordinary people. Even the Ancient One Mage should not have such a long lifespan. The reason she lived so long was because she absorbed the energy of the dark dimension. Quote. Li Zan. Because she couldn't find a suitable heir, Ji Yi couldn't die easily. In order to keep her body from decaying, she absorbed the energy of the dark dimension to maintain her body. And the master of the dark dimension, the dimension demon Dormammu, is an existence that deliberately wants to invade the earth. Li Zan. The energy of the dark dimension contains Dormammu's will, absorbing this thing is like becoming Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. If one is not careful, he will be assimilated by the will in it and become Dormammu's sacrifice and become him. Puppets on Earth. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 198 Odin. Watch me throw rocks and ask for directions. Uchiha Madara. If her situation is the same as becoming Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, then there's nothing to worry about. The group owner was fine before. Li Zan. No, it's not the same. I had 11 consciousnesses in my body before, but they were all suppressed at ordinary times. Unless they were strengthened or I became weak, they were no different from death. Quote. Li Zan. But the dark energy in Ji is different. Dormammu lives well in the dark dimension. He can harass Ji through the dark energy in Ji at any time, forcing Ji to consume his own power to suppress him. Will. Li Zan. It's like someone whispering in your ear all the time. After a long time, everyone will feel irritable. Boring work and Dormammu's noise, they all make Ji rush to die. Reason. Senju Hashirama suddenly asked, if Ji is going to die, what will happen to the dark energy in Ji? If her soul leaves, wouldn't her body be easily controlled by Dormammu? Li Zan. Dark energies are easy to deal with, and there are ways to destroy them. In the past, Ji needed to use them to maintain the vitality of his body before they could exist. Moreover, Ji's body is not strong, even if it was controlled by Dormammu. Nothing. Li Zan. What Dormammu wants, and what Ji fears, is that the dark energy keeps contacting her soul through the deposit in Ji's body, so that the soul of 15 Ji can become Dormammu's servants. Outside world. After Li Zan agreed to take over as the Supreme Mage, Ji showed a bright smile and invited him to Kamatage to get acquainted with the environment and get to know the mage there by the way. The undead in the chat group have seen everything about Kamatage through Li Zan, a huge number of magicians, magic books and magic fortifications. Seeing a group of Kamatage's mages practicing the arc of mysticism, Namikaze Minato in the chat group couldn't help but complain. In the time and space of this world, is ninjutsu so proliferating? It feels like any Kamatage mage will do it use it. Time and space ninjutsu is a very rare thing in the Hokage world, and few of the millions of ninjas can use it. The history of the ninja world is so long, and only a few people such as Senju Tobirama, Wave Minato, and Azabuye have time and space ninjutsu. Of course, summoning technique, sealed scroll and other rotten street things are not considered, otherwise the space ninjutsu in the Hokage world is also quite flooded. Uchiha Obito can't say master time space ninjutsu, because his pupil technique is not cultivated by himself at all. Li Zan. The arc of arcane magic is a basic operation in Kamatage, and basically all mages have this kind of space magic. However, the use of this magic is limited. Have you seen the special ring on their hands? Dad thought thoughtfully. This kind of space magic can't be prop magic, right? Magic that requires special props to use. Li Zan. That's right. To use this kind of arcane magic, you must have a mysterious ring. Of course, powerful mages can make exceptions. Dad. That's not prop magic. Magic that can't be used without props is prop magic. For example, Daddy's chi magic requires puffer fish and lizards to assist in casting, but it can be done without these things. This is not prop magic. Magic. Howard Tucker curiously asked, what is the prop magic of your world like? Dad. There is a kind of scroll magic in our world, which can be attached to the scroll to make the scroll a prop with magic power. The spell that was drained of magic power by the group owner before is actually a prop magic prop. Quote. One Piece Roger. Kamatage should be the largest mage organization on the planet, right? In this case, there should be props that use prop magic in this organization, right? Lord Group Master, I want to see. Li Zan. Do you use props for prop magic? Don't say. There are really many such things in Kamatage. Originally, the next Supreme Mage in the future is an expert in using prop magic. Dad. Normal. After all, according to Master Ji, the next Supreme Master in the future is to catch ducks on the shelves. When one's own magical strength is not enough, using magic props to make up the gap is a basic operation. Outside world. The Supreme Master introduced a robust Oriental man to Li Zan. This is my assistant, Wang, and he will show you Kamatage next. I just received a sense that there is a dimension demon trying to invade. Kamatage. Li Zan nodded and said, you go to work, I have no problem here. After Master Ji left, Wang continued to visit Kamatage. Perhaps it was Master Ji who told him something, and the king seemed very attentive, with the attitude of serving the prince. Meanwhile, Asgard. Asgard in this world is not a planet, but a continent suspended in the universe. The power of magic and technology makes it exist in this form, like a special dimension independent of the universe. A colorful bridge stretched out from the mainland. At the end of the bridge was the main gate of Asgard. A soldier in armor and holding a long sword stood here, looking blankly at the dark starry sky around him. Heimdall, the gatekeeper of Asgard, his eyes can see almost any corner of the universe. Of course, the main scope of his observation is the 9 realms dominated by Asgard. At this time, he concentrates on the earth. After a while, he got up and left here, went to the palace in Asgard, and reported what he saw to Odin. Odin's face changed slightly, and he asked in a dignified tone, "The one who has 2 infinity stones, Li Zan, has contacted the supreme mage of the earth, Gu Yi." Heimdall said it was, and he was absolutely right. Odin pondered, his heart was a little heavy. Li Zan and the supreme mage Gu, who had 2 infinity stones, were both rivals to him. The last time Li Zan played against Thanos, he had seen it all. Although Li Zan chose to leave in the end, Li Zan also showed that he was no less powerful than Thanos. Naturally, Odin would not think that Li Zan was not an opponent of Thanos. He could see that Li Zan did not want to take risks when he left. The power of the 2 infinity stones could not be reduced. Although Odin was aware of the hidden dangers of Li Zan himself, he did not have the equipment that could trigger Li Zan's hidden dangers like the mind gem. Odin guessed that if he fought with Li Zan, he would not lose, but it would be difficult to win. Not to mention the supreme mage, Gu Yi, a long-established master in the universe. After the supreme mage appeared, Odin didn't care much about the earth that nominally belonged to him. The reason is very simple: I am afraid of unnecessary friction with the supreme master. If Li Zan joins forces with the supreme mage, Odin reckons that his Asgard will definitely be unstoppable. Although Odin thought it was impossible for Li Zan and Gu Yi to join forces, as the supreme leader of the 9 realms. Leaders who are not suspicious are unqualified. No matter how small it may be, it cannot be ignored for the threat that may endanger itself to the kingdom. After thinking about it, Odin decided to throw a stone to ask the way, so he called the stone head of his family. The head of the stone, Thor, the god of thunder, Jong pulled his head to the front of Odin, and said weakly, "Father, what are you looking for from me?" Thor has been in a state of low air pressure since the incident in which Thor's hammer was taken away by Li Zan. Although the hammer finally returned to his hands, Thor found that the hammer was no longer fragrant. It's like someone going through all the trouble to buy a car, only to find out that 480 other people also have the keys. Since Thor's hammer was taken away and used by Li Zan, he and the hammer have never been able to return to the past. Odin looked at Thor, the god of thunder, and scolded him sharply. "Saul, look what you look like now. You are the crown prince of Asgard and the future heir of the 9 realms, how can you be immersed in loss all day long?" Quote. Thor said sadly, "Father, you said before that the heir to the throne is the one who can pick up the hammer of Thor. So even though I find myself not as smart as Loki, I still feel that I can be an excellent king. But then I found out that Thor's hammer can be picked up by others. Does this hammer still have the right to choose the future king of Asgard? I wanted to get rid of this hammer, but I found that I left this hammer nothing. The current Thor, has not yet developed his own thunder god's power. Without Thor's hammer, he is just an ordinary Asgardian. Although it is much stronger than the Earth people, it has no advantages compared with the Asgardians." Odin snorted coldly. "Shut up. What does your cowardly mentality look like? A person who is not determined enough is not qualified to become the king of Asgard. Now I will punish you to go to Midgard for training, what? When you are qualified to inherit the throne, you can come back." Saying that, Odin waved his hand and brought Thor to the Rainbow Bridge at the main entrance of Asgard. After sealing Thor's divine power, he threw him directly to the earth. Afterwards, he cast a spell on Thor's hammer and threw it to earth as well. Kamatage. When the light of the Rainbow Bridge fell on the earth, Li Zan immediately noticed the situation. The space gem flashed, and stretched out his hand to open a space crack in front of him to observe the situation where the Rainbow Bridge landed. Thor's hammer. What's wrong with Odin? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 199: The Silly Son of the Landlord's Family. In the chat group, Shaki was very surprised to see the golden lion outside through Li Zan, and asked, "Isn't the one across from the space crack not Thor of Asgard? And his hammer, why did it come back to him?" Whitebeard wondered, what's wrong with that hammer coming back to him? The golden lion Shaki snorted. That hammer looks like a good thing, but the purple overlord didn't pick it up. Li Zan. Thanos didn't want to fight Asgard yet, and Odin was watching there. Senju Hashirama asked, "What is Thor doing here?" And looking at his appearance, it seems that he didn't come here on his own initiative, otherwise how could he have lost his hammer? Senju Tobarama echoed. Indeed. Looking at Thor's appearance, he seems to have been thrown over by someone. He is so embarrassed, could it be that something happened to Asgard? Uchiha Shisui. It shouldn't be. Although he looks embarrassed, he doesn't panic. If something goes wrong with Asgard, he should be nervous now. Li Zan. Although in the future I see, he will come to Earth in this attitude. But now the time is wrong, maybe things have changed. One Piece Roger. Then what? Li Zan. Simple, I'll just go over and ask him. Sword God Ryoma. Are you sure this method works? You were enemies before. Li Zan was full of confidence. Don't worry. That guy has a normal brain and is easy to deceive. Outside world. The space gem in Li Zan's hand glowed, bringing him to Thor's side. Who? Li Zan, who appeared out of thin air, jumped Thor, quickly distanced himself from Li Zan, and looked at Li Zan with vigilance. Still remember me? Li Zan looked at Thor up and down, and asked with a half smile. It's you. Thor was a little nervous and became more alert. Don't be nervous, I didn't mean to hurt you. You don't even have a hammer now, what's the use of being nervous? Of course, even if you have a hammer, it's useless. Li Zan waved his hand and calmly said a series of words that made Thor autistic. Okay. Thor thought for a while and felt that what Li Zan said made sense, so he gave up the useless tension. Li Zan asked straight to the point. Heir of Asgard, why are you here? It shouldn't have anything to do with the Frost Giants. Thor asked inexplicably. The Frost Giants? I'm not familiar with them, why are you asking me this? I'm here because I let my father down. Li Zan continued. Why? You are his best son. When Thor heard this, a proud expression appeared on his face, but he was soon discouraged, looking at Li Zan with a depressed expression. Isn't it because you are angry? Li Zan asked, what has it got to do with me? Thor sighed, repeated what he had said to Odin before, and then told Li Zan about Odin's reaction at the time, and finally said that this is what happened. In the chat group, Mutant Black Emperor. After a long time, it turned out that Odin was training his son. But why did he choose Earth? Li Zan. It should be because I am on Earth. Of course, I think Odin has another purpose for throwing Thor over here, and that is to test my attitude towards Asgard. One Piece Roger asked curiously. Master, why did Thor come here in the original future? Li Zan. In the original future, Thor did not meet me. Do you remember the state of mind when he first met me? Uchiha Madara sneered. Remember. At that time, he was not afraid of the sky and the earth. Whether it was the group leader or the universe overlord Thanos, he dared to challenge without hesitation. Li Zan. That's right. In the original future, his arrogance was not cut off. So he made up his own mind, launched an attack on the planet occupied by the Frost Giants in the Nine Realms, and was finally punished by Odin and thrown to the earth. Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. The result is the same, but the reasons are completely different. It used to be because of radicalism, but now it is because of depression. In other words, how did he get back in the future? Li Zan. How else can I go back? Naturally, his father agreed with him to go back. Senju Hashirama. So, Odin's transformation of Thor failed in the original future. Li Zan. So to speak. Coupled with some unexpected situations at that time, Odin hastily ended his experience with Thor. Outside world. Thor, the god of thunder, said with a dejected expression. I know the intention of the king, but my heart is not under my control. You say, can I really become the king of Asgard? Li Zan patted Thor and comforted. Don't think too much, a hammer doesn't mean anything. I'm not telling you, there are no one in this world who can lift Thor's hammer with both hands. Plus 2 feet may not be enough. Thor suddenly woke up from his depressed state, looked at Li Zan and asked in disbelief, are you sure you're not joking? That's Thor's hammer. Li Zan said with disdain. You replaced that K with me, it's just a Thor's hammer. Do you think it is some kind of cosmic treasure? Don't even pick it up and use it, anyone who can destroy it will far more than 2 hands. Thor was stunned. Li Zan patted Thor and said with a smile, think about it, why can't other people hold Thor's hammer? Apart from the disapproval of Thor's hammer, it's not because they don't have the power to forcibly control Thor's hammer. Thor's eyes lit up and looked at Li Zan expectantly. You mean that you are not recognized by Thor's hammer, but your power is above Thor's hammer. So you forcibly controlled it. Li Zan nodded. Thor smiled. That's good, I thought Thor's hammer recognized you as the king of Asgard. In the chat group, Howard Stark couldn't bear to look directly and said, this is the future king of Asgard. This IQ is too funny. Li Zan recognized this. Thor is not like the prince of the Aesir, but like the silly son of the landlord's family. But thinking about the territory of the Asa Protoss, it seems that there is nothing wrong with Thor being the stupid son of the landlord's family. After all, the entire 9 realms belong to their family. The mutant Black Emperor echoed. Let this kind of mind become the master of the 9 realms, and the entire 9 realms will be in danger, right? Sword God Ryoma. No way. If Odin is smart enough, it would be safer to change his heir as soon as possible. Li Zan. Changing the heir. It's hard. Among Odin's children, Thor is already the best one. How else can we say that this is a rotten world? Even the position of the God King depends on comparison bad decision. Uchiha Madara. That's what it means we don't need to be satisfactory, we just need to be better than the competition. It's really disgusting to be bad. Howard Tucker. Thor is the best of Odin's children. If Odin can't make another good child, then Asgard is definitely over. Mutant Black Emperor. Speaking of this, I'm a little curious. In the original future, did Thor inherit Asgard? After he inherited Asgard, did Asgard perish because of him? Li Zan. In the original future, Asgard's land was indeed destroyed because of Thor's weakness. But the people of Asgard were still there, and later came to live on Earth. Howard Stark was shocked. No way. There are supreme mages on the Earth, they shouldn't be able to occupy the Earth, right? Li Zan. At that time, Asgard experienced the destruction of the country, and half of the population was killed by the director of the family planning office on the way to escape. When they came to the Earth, there were not many people. They were in the place where their myths originated. Settled down, the peaceful corner lost its former scenery and glory. Senju Hashirama. As even the Protoss inevitable. Sword god Ryoma. So, Thor, the god of thunder, is still unqualified to inherit the throne. Golden Lion Shiki. Jia ha ha ha. Lord of the group, do you want to eliminate Thor, the god of thunder, in advance for the peace of the Nine Realms? Li Zan said angrily. Let's go. Outside world. Li Zan took Thor and found Thor's hammer that also fell on the earth. Thor, who had recovered his fighting spirit, stepped forward confidently and grabbed the handle of the hammer, but he couldn't lift it when he lifted it up. Oh no. Father, why have I regained my fighting spirit? Xian. Thor, the god of thunder, was dumbfounded, but instead of losing his mind, he was full of doubts. Li Zan stared at Thor, and answered, your power has been sealed by Odin, you can only pick up Thor's hammer if you unlock the seal. Thor looked at Li Zan eagerly, and said aggrieved, I can't even sense the seal in my body, how can I unlock it? He is clearly embarrassing me. Li Zan laughed. No, he should have wanted to see my reaction. I've already figured it out, 80% of the time it was my meeting with the Supreme Master that got him excited. Otherwise, how could it be so coincidental? I just went to Kamatage. You were sent down. Thor, the god of thunder, said in amazement. What do you mean? I don't understand. Li Zan said, I can unseal the seal for you, so what are you going to use in return for me? Thor thought about it for a while, and suggested, there are many treasures in the treasure house in Asgard. I can find a way to get one for you. Of course, reality gems won't work. Li Zan was surprised. The reality stone is in your Asgardian treasury. Thor nodded and said, it turns out that there is no such thing in the treasure house. After I met you, the father found it from nowhere and put it in the treasure house. Li Zan pondered, and it seemed that his butterfly wings caused the change, causing Odin to take back the reality gem that was hidden outside. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 200 Group members report on the situation. Thor said that he had no idea what the Infinity Stones were until he met Li Zan. It was not until he met Li Zan that he knew that there were 6 terrifying Infinity Stones in the universe. My father told me that we in Asgard once had 2 Infinity Stones of space and reality. He even thought about collecting 6 Infinity Stones, but then gave up the idea. Put the 2 Infinity Stones in Asgard. Asgard is a safety hazard. In order to prevent the people of the Kai ship Infinity Stones from attacking Asgard's idea, the father hid them separately. Stand up. The universe cube where the space gem is located was hidden by the father in the atrium, and later brought to you. The ether particle where the reality gem is located was hidden by the father in other parts of the 9 realms, and has been sealed so it has not been born. Father told me that you already have 2 Infinity Stones, and it's not a good thing to get more of your Infinity Stones. And the crazy Titan Thanos made Infinity Gloves, and it seems that he wants to get all 6 Infinity Stones. Get it? In order to prevent the reality gem from being found by you, he took the reality gem back to Asgard. The king said that only by keeping the reality gem by his side and taking care of it personally can he be at ease. Thor looked like an honest man, and he told Li Zan what he knew without hesitation. Li Zan. Li Zan looked at Thor silently. You must be too upright as a fool. You even told me the picture of guarding against me. Li Zan said speechlessly. It seems that it is impossible to get the reality gem from your hands. In this case, I will change my request and give me 10 Ulu metals in the weight of Thor's hammer. Thor's eyes widened, and he asked blankly, what is Ulu metal? Li Zan complained. Have you lived for more than 2,000 years? You don't even know that Ulu metal is 480. Thor said confidently. I have been focusing on Ishin's strength all these years, busy learning how to fight. Loki can handle the internal affairs. This is called division of labor and cooperation. Li Zan was defeated and said helplessly, your father's education method is very wrong. It is the general who should be thinking about fighting and fighting all day long, not the crown prince. What Loki does is what you should learn. Let he handles government affairs like a king all day long. Is it normal for him to want to be king? Thor, the god of thunder, said in surprise, Loki also wants to be king of Asgard. Li Zan squinted at Thor. Thor immediately changed the subject embarrassingly, continued to talk about Ulu metal. Li Zan explained. Ulu metal is a precious metal in the universe, and only dying stars can produce this kind of thing. Your quake and your father's spear of eternity are made of this precious material. Made. Thor suddenly said. So you mean, you want me to provide you with Ulu metal that can make 10 Thor's hammers? Li Zan nodded. Thor refused without hesitation. Thor said helplessly. I know the value of Thor's hammer very well, so I can imagine the preciousness of Ulu metal. I can't do this kind of thing to give you Ulu metal that can make 10 Thor's hammers. Li Zan said with a smile. It doesn't matter. Asgard has a lot of money, so I can still take this thing. You go back and tell God King Odin that I am about to become the next supreme mage, and the bargaining part should be given to me. Congrats. Thor, the god of thunder, was surprised. What is the supreme mage? Li Zan glanced at Thor sympathetically. It is not easy for Odin to have such an Asgard heir who is full of muscles and knows nothing about the situation in the Nine Realms. A slap slapped on Thor, the god of thunder, and the purple light of the power gem rushed into his body, found the seal left by Odin, and destroyed it directly. My power is restored. Thor looked happy. You actually broke the seal my father left me. Li Zan struck blankly. It's nothing. The seal left by Odin is not strong, it should just seal your strength casually. You can't even notice it in this kind of seal, you are too weak. Thor. Some depressed people stepped forward to pick up Thor's hammer and held it high. Thor said loudly, Heimdall, pick me up. Colorful rays of light fell from the sky. Heimdall saw Thor pick up Thor's hammer, and immediately responded to his call, picking him up with the power of the Rainbow Bridge. Li Zan returned to Kamatage and learned that Master Ji Yi took a long time to deal with the Dimension Demon, so he left a shadow clone here to familiarize himself with the situation, and left directly. In the chat group, Li Zan. Report the situation in each world, is there anything worth noting? Han Fei. Yingzheng was assassinated. Li Zan surprised. What did you do? Han Fei denied. No, it should be Lu Bawei. It should be that before we killed him, he had already sent an assassin to kill Ying Zheng. Dad. Is it dead? Han Fei. Yeah, Li Zan said helplessly. What a pity. In all fairness, I still admire Ying Zheng very much. Not everyone can be the first emperor of the past, but it's a pity that he was planted in the hands of transmigrators. Whitebeard snorted. Lu Bawei is really not a thing, he even kills his own children. The golden lion Shiki mocked. Whitebeard, are you slow? The traveler and Lu Bawei are not alone. Li Zan. Having said that, it's not wrong to say that Lu Bawei is not a thing. Business people usually have no bottom line, and scholars often lack morality. Lu Bawei is both a businessman and a scholar, so it's not wrong to say that he is a scum with no bottom line of morality. Every time a person who slaughtered a dog with a sense of righteousness, he was mostly a scholar with a negative heart. Scholars are full of benevolence, righteousness and morality, and they do dirty things. Needless to say. And businessmen are notorious for their greed and limitless. In troubled times, businessmen don't even have their own motherland, otherwise Shang Yang wouldn't focus on them. The things that Lu Bawei did, such as offering his wife, Lu Jun, dictatorship and even rebellion, did not look like a person with morality and bottom line. But this is also normal. How can a greedy businessman who dares to trample all laws for triple profit, after tasting the taste of power, BFDH, how can he stop chasing it? Lu Bawei has all the money and power, and they happen to be things that can make people lose their morality and bottom line. Han Fei. The death of Lu Bawei and Ying Zheng has made the Qin country without the prince and the prime minister. The expansion of the Qin country to the east has stopped. This is good news for me, and it will allow me to have more time to practice spells. Li Zan. Then you practice hard, the next one. Dongfang Gaiyu. I have regained the position of the leader of the Yiki Dao League, and there is nothing that I care about too much. But it is worth mentioning that the king's hegemony has returned, and it has been lost as the group leader said before. Kenshin. Dad. Don't be too sad. Dongfang Gaiyu. There's nothing to be sad about. Although their failure made the race lose many young heroes, it also avoided the ensuing struggle for power and profit. It's not that the old man is boasting, the old man feels that he can completely replace their role. Li Zan. If you don't have the undead body and endless mana provided by Earth reincarnation, you must be bragging. But now, you do have the capital to say it. Is there anything else worth worrying about? Dongfang Gaiyu. The well-known demon clan in the circle, the Tushan Fox Demon, has released a signal of goodwill to human beings. It seems that they want to live in peace with human beings. Lord Group Master, are they deceiving people? Li Zan. They should not be deceitful and can be trusted. Dongfang Gaiyu. It turned out to be true. Lord of the group, do you know why this is? Li Zan. Tu Shan Honghong, the head of Tu Shan's family, was kidnapped by a human Taoist priest when he was young, and was later rescued by a small Taoist priest. However, when the young Taoist priest was saving her, she was misunderstood by her as having ulterior motives, so shot him by mistake. Dongfangyu. I didn't expect such a powerful Tu Shan Honghong to have such a past. She never decided to live peacefully with humans because of that little Taoist priest, right? Li Zan. Yeah, the timing of that little Taoist's death was too good, and Tu Shan Honghong fell in love with him all at once. I should have told you this. In the battle of emotions, the dead cannot be defeated. Li Zan. The timing of the little Taoist priest's death was too good, so Tu Shan Honghong couldn't extricate himself. The little Taoist left behind the wish of peaceful coexistence between human beings and the demon clan, and Tu Shan Honghong worked hard to complete it. Dongfang Gaiyu. It turned out to be like this. The old man admires her a little bit. Lord of the group, do you think I should cooperate with her? Li Zan. Let's cooperate. Judging from the situation in your world, Cooperation between humans and demons is the future. Senju Hashirama said speechlessly. The group leader is helping them like this, isn't he interested in that too? Xuan Honghong. This is not Senju Hashirama's nonsense, after all Li Zan has a criminal record in the world of Hokage, passing Tsunade in a similar situation. Li Zan said indifferently. No, I'm not very interested in her. I'll tell you the specific reasons later. Namikaze Minato. In the world of Scarlet Eye, the Empire has been unified, and the Revolutionary Army has been completely eliminated. Now there are other forces outside the Empire and a huge number of dangerous species left. Li Zan. Don't worry about the other forces for now, the dangerous species that have threats can be dealt with. I remember that Roger should hunt the dangerous species over there, right? One Piece Roger. Master, I have indeed seen a lot of super dangerous species. I killed some, but their life-saving skills are also very strong, and many have escaped. Li Zan. It doesn't matter. I didn't let you kill them all at once, just take your time. The world of Hokage is the same as the world of pirates, right? Senju Hashirama. The situation is relatively stable and is currently developing steadily. Li Zan said with satisfaction. Very good. At Lu Xing, do you want to solve the world's affairs? Send me your 7th sense potential and 6th sense, and I will do a good deed. Lucy said gratefully. Master Group, thank you so much. One Piece Roger. There's no need to be so excited, the group owner is not as generous as he said. If not every world has benefits that can be harvested, at least if there are traversers who provide skills, he will not be so enthusiastic and generous. Li Zan. After being speechless, Li Zan said amiably. Roger, I now have the ability to hurt the soul. Would you like to experience the pain of going deep into the soul and find the feeling of being alive? One Piece Roger seconds. Master, I was wrong. Li Zan snorted, feeling helpless in his heart. One Piece has a big nerve, but he can't speak his mind. What nonsense are you talking about? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 201 The Great Art. A man pretends to be a woman. Having obtained the potential of Lu Xing's 6th sense and 7th sense, Li Zan used the world pass he gave to come to the world of stealing stars and appeared on the vast sea. In the chat group, Lu Xing explained. When I was rowing a small boat by myself, a terrifying monster suddenly appeared and devoured me all at once. Senju Hashirama said sympathetically, then you are so unlucky, pure world reincarnation is impossible. Your life information has become a baba, right? Lucy. Howard Stark. Don't be so absolute, is this world a modern world? If it is a modern world, hospitals and other institutions should store your life information. Lucy said happily. My family used to be a wealthy family, and there must be information about my life in the hospital. Mutant Black Emperor. By the way, what is the state of the world? I'm talking about the state of technology development. Technology deformities like Hokage and pirates, or technology like Fox Demon and Chitong that don't exist, or like Marvel, Daddy's world has advanced technology like that. Li Zan. This world is similar to the world of Marvel and Dad, and even more powerful than their world's technology. Of course, I'm only talking about the Earth. Howard Stark. Understood. No matter how advanced the technology in this world is, it can't be more advanced than the cosmic empire in the Marvel world. There should also be superpowers in this world, right? Lucky Star. Yes, not long after I first came into contact with superpowers, I just entered the world of superpowers, and I died inexplicably. Mutant Black King. The superpowers in this world are not the products of scientific experiments like the mutants in the Marvel world, are they? Lucky Star. It shouldn't be. As far as I know, the reason for the emergence of superpowers in this world is because an extraterrestrial meteorite brought a special magnetic field, which made the people in this world upgraded, thus giving birth to the famous name. The ability of the 7th sense. Quote. Dad. If Dad remembers correctly, you still have something called the 6th sense. Lucky Star. Yes, the 6th sense is not an ability, but a special ability that can make one's body 100 times stronger than ordinary people. Fisher Tiger. If that's the case, it doesn't seem to matter. After all, when you say 100 times stronger, you mean ordinary people. There should be many people in this world who are not ordinary, right? Shiki the Golden Lion. Gia ha ha ha. I bet Fisher Tiger must have remembered that their murlocs are naturally 10 times stronger than humans. Fisher Tiger. Yeah, the ordinary people of our murloc are indeed 10 times stronger than ordinary human beings, but the probability of abnormal monsters being born among humans is too great. Some humans are born stronger than ordinary people. Physical fitness is 1,000 times stronger. Whitebeard. After all, there are only a few people who are 1,000 times stronger than ordinary people from birth, and more human talents are still hidden, and they need continuous cultivation to improve their strength. Howard Tucker complained. You're a freak from birth. This kind of situation only occurs in your pirate world, right? It's rarely like this in other worlds, and there shouldn't be any in this world, right? Li Zan. Yes, people in this world are normal, there is no such monster that is born powerful and boundless. Howard Stark. Lu Xing, continue talking. Why are you here? A person is rowing a boat on this vast sea, are you sure you are not courting death? Even if there are no monsters to eat you, the lack of water and food will kill you. Lucy said embarrassedly. Well, there is a reason for this. I used to be a wealthy young man in a group, and there was a huge security company in my family. As a result, the precious cultural relics protected by our security company are always stolen by an international thief. 9 Yuetian steals it, so our family goes bankrupt. Howard Stark said with a smile. I didn't expect you to be a down-and-out young boy, and there is a Doflamingo in the group who is in a similar situation to you. Doflamingo. Foo, an ordinary down-and-out young man, can't compare to me, but I fell from the most noble noble in the world to the lowest pirate in the world. Lucy, what have you become after you are down? Lucy said embarrassedly. This. Li Zan said silently. After he was depressed, he was forced into debt and was almost sold as a slave. Later, a young girl helped him repay the debt and took his villa to make him a maid. Howard Stark was surprised. Maid. Judging from the previous conversation, Lucy should be a man. Could it be that she is a woman? Li Zan laughed. Who said a man can't be a maid? Mr. Zhou Shuren once said that the greatest art in the world is a man pretending to be a woman. Lucky star. This. Lu Xuan really said it. Doflamingo said with disgust. It seems that we are not the same kind of people. No matter how bad I am, I will not pretend to be a woman. Lu Xing said embarrassedly. I don't want to, it's all forced by life. She helped me pay back 100 million yuan, and I have no other way to pay her back. Howard Tucker contemptuously said. So you paid the debt by wearing women's clothes. It's only 100 million yuan. As for you abandoning your dignity. The gold thief Wu Nan echoed. 100 million yuan is indeed not much. Lucky star. Sorry, I forgot that you are all rich. Li Zan. In different worlds, the value of 100 million yuan is different. In this world, 100 million yuan is considered 100 million yuan in the Marvel world, but if it is placed in the world of Hokage and pirates, there may be a billions. Senju Hashirama said stunned. 10 billion. That's really a lot of money, it's enough to buy a few tailed beasts. If it's for so much money, it's okay to wear women's clothes. Uchiha Madara laughed. Spicy chicken Tobirama, you are so shameless. Senju Tobirama retorted. What do you know? Not all ninjas have the powers of you and your big brother. For most ninjas, it's normal to endure humiliation in order to complete a mission. Isn't it just women's clothing? As far as I know, a lot of ninjas have done that. Senju Hashirama asked curiously, Tobirama, have you ever done such a thing? Uchiha Madara sneered. And needless to say, he must have done it. Senju Toy denied without hesitation. It's a pity, I haven't done such a thing. Only those who are in charge of lurking and protection tasks will disguise their identities in women's clothing. As a village executive, how can I do it? What about this kind of task? Dot for flowers. Li Zan. Lu Xing, I'll tell you a secret. The girl Xiaoshui who helped you pay back the money is the September day you've always wanted to catch. Lu Xing was stunned and couldn't believe it. How is this possible? I don't believe it. Li Zan laughed. Why is it impossible? If Xiaoshui has nothing to do with you, why would he spend so much money to help you pay off your debt? You wouldn't think it's because your villa is beautiful, or because she has a lot of money. She's here for you. Lu Xing was stunned, and then he was a little bit fluttering. No wonder when I caught her, she always teased and played with me, it turns out that he took a fancy to my beauty. In other words, how did she take a fancy to me from the thousands of people at a glance? Li Zan Bui said. Don't think too much. When Juyuishan is helping you pay off your debts, she should only think about compensating you. After all, her company's bankruptcy is due to her Juyuishan's contribution. It can even be said that your security company she was the one who stole it to go bankrupt. Zero Lu Xing. If you want to say that, then I will not be excited. Lu Xing said a little disappointedly. Then why is she so special to me when I arrest her again? Li Zan. Maybe it's because you live there. Under one roof. Who knows? But in the original future, you ended up liking her, and she was interested in you. Lucy was excited. Really? Li Zan sneered. Don't be happy. It's too early. She's only interested in you, and she's also interested in Yenji 10. Quote. Howard Stark said with a smile. Sure enough, is there a love triangle in this world? Lord, what is the result of this love triangle? Lucy also asked nervously. Yeah. Lord of the group, who won in the end between me and Yenji October? Li Zan. Well, unlike other love triangles, September didn't make a choice. Instead, it was you and Yenji. In October, there is so much meaning in falling in love and killing each other and competing with each other. Quote exclamation mark quote. Lu Xing categorically denied. Impossible. I'm normal, okay, Li Zan said without discipline. Don't be so absolute, people will change. In the end, I became a baby with Yenji October, and then grew up together. Is it strange that there are some changes? Lucy was autistic. Let me be quiet. Howard Stark laughed. Don't be quiet, let's change the topic. Let's talk about what happened just now, after you become a maid. Lucy cheered up. For the sake of repayment and revenge, I have decided to arrest Jie Wuxian with a reward of billions. Although I always fail, but I have also achieved certain achievements and was accepted by the world's famous detective academy, VW Academy. Howard Stark said speechlessly. Detectives still have academies. Your world is boring enough. Lucy retorted Dow. No, VW Academy is not as simple as the detective academy on the surface. Many teachers and principals of the academy have the seventh sense, and the worst also have the sixth sense. The VY Academy is a powerful force in this world. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 202 The Ancient Zillan People Are Sick. In the chat group. The Mutant Black Emperor asked curiously, that is to say, this VV Academy is similar to the Mutant Academy. It's a place where superpowers gather. Li Zan. VV Academy is similar to the X-Men in a way. People with superpowers gather to prevent other superpowers from committing crimes. Lucy added. However, there are not many people with superpowers in the academy, and they add up to 4 or 5. Li Zan. 5. Dr. Amy, Mr. Po Jun, Mr. Wen Ku, Mr. Wu Ku, and Chi Manju who lives with you, Mr. Greedy Wolf. Lu Xing was shocked. Are you kidding? The teacher who has superpowers in VY Academy, why did he go to my house? And from the performance of Chi Manju before, he doesn't look like a person with superpowers. Li Zan said speechlessly. Otherwise, why would so many people say you are stupid? Do you think Qi Zhaoshan is just like you and has no doubts about Xiaoshui's true identity? He came to your house as a servant to investigate September. Lucy. Dad. The teacher's code name in this school is a bit interesting. Except for that Dr. Amy, the rest are the Big Dipper. But there are only 4 Big Dippers, so what about the remaining 3? Li Zan. The remaining 3, 480s, have not developed a seventh sense, and their existence does not need to be doubted. Howard Stark. Master, is the meteorite that can develop the seventh sense still there? I think its magnetic field is very valuable for research. Lu Xing. The meteorite is no longer there, because it appeared 9,000 years ago. 9,000 years ago, there was a kingdom with advanced technology on the earth, the kingdom of Guzilan, and the appearance of the meteorite made that country appear. A large number of superpowers, because superpowers are out of control, bringing civilization extinction. Li Zan. This is what the people at VV Academy told you, and what they learned is not the truth. History is a little girl who dresses up, and it is impossible for the archaeologists at VV Academy to find the absolute truth. Dad was surprised. Archaeologist. Li Zan. That's right, the people at VV Academy were originally a group of archaeologists. They discovered the ruins left by the ancient Zillan kingdom and released the demons that were sealed in the ancient Zillan base. Dad. Oops, I didn't expect that the archaeologists in this world are as dangerous as the archaeologists in our world, and it is easy to find the things left by the devil if you are not careful. Lu Xing was stunned and said, is that so? Mr. Po Jun and the others never told me about the devil. They only said that they found Gu Xilan's technology in the ruins, and then Dr. Amy's assistant, Mr. K, took the ice seal. The children in it. Howard Stark said sharply. Frozen children. Lucy Starr. That's right. Those were the children selected from the ancient Zillan kingdom 9,000 years ago. They were sealed in a coffin made of ice and fell asleep. They were not awakened until Mr. Po Jun and the others opened the ruins. Li Zan. Similar to Captain America in Marvel World, he stopped his life activities with low temperature to ensure that his lifespan will not be lost. The same is true of Captain America in your Marvel World. Has he been created now? Howard Stark. The SHIELD guys have found him, and the excavation is going on. Mutant Black King. What's so special about those kids who slept from 9,000 years ago to the present? To make Dr. Amy's assistant betray him. Lu Xing. According to Mr. Po Jun and the others, only those who have been transformed by the meteorite's magnetic field can develop the seventh sense perfectly, which means that only those who were 9,000 years ago can have a harmless seventh sense. Shiki the Golden Lion. Forbidden ha ha ha. That is to say, the seventh sense that you later generations have is harmful. Lucy. That's right. Like Mr. Po Jun, although they have developed a seventh sense, their bodies continue to rejuvenate, and eventually they will gradually become babies until they disappear. The Golden Lion Shiki said with emotion. Rejuvenation. This ability is not bad. But if you can't freely control the rejuvenation, it will be a little troublesome. Senju Hashirama suggested. Why don't you develop a seventh sense for those who are dying of old age? So that they can live to be more than 100 years old. From old age to manhood to youth, and finally to childhood and infancy, it is simply live your life again. Lucy. It's a good idea, but I don't think it's that easy. I don't think the seventh sense can be developed by anyone who wants to develop it. Li Zan. Of course. The development of the seventh sense requires ancient Ceylon elements, and it is also the radiation left by the meteorite. After these radiations are made into element stones, they can resonate with people, and then the seventh sense can be opened. Lu Xing. So it is. What happened to the demon that the group leader said before? Li Zan. 9,000 years ago, in addition to the moon, the Earth had a satellite called Karenkaya. The ancient kingdom of Ceylon, who occupied the earth, fought with Karenkaya. Karenkaya was defeated, and Karen was defeated. The undead of Murvi, the leader of the Kaya rebels, was sealed in the ruins of ancient Saran. Li Zan. The ancient Zilan people left a reminder in the ruins, marking the place where Murvi was sealed, so that those who found the ruins should not let the demon out. It's a pity that the greed of human beings is beyond the imagination of the ancient Zilan people. The military general opened the seal for ambition. Li Zan. The undead of Urvi ran out of it, occupied Mr. K's body, took away the base left by the ancient Zilan people, and took away the fire left by the ancient Zilan people, frozen by ice 12 children of the now conspiracy to destroy the earth and restore the glory of Karenkaya. Irisviel complained. So, this time it's the fault of humans again. Because of their greed, they released the sealed demon. Howard Stark. I think the ancient sirens had a sick mind, and even sealed the enemy leader in their own ruins, and put them together with the children they left behind. Can't they just destroy it a little bit? Uchiha Madara sneered. Perhaps it is to make that undead suffer eternal pain in its long life. After all, human beings have no lower limit. Lucy asked curiously, where is Karenkaya? Right now, there is only one satellite on Earth, the moon. Li Zan. In order to win the war with Karenkaya, the emperor of the ancient Zilan kingdom gathered 8 elements, obtained incomparably terrifying power, and exiled the planet Karenkaya into the deep space universe. As long as Murvi also gains the power of the 8 elements, he can pull Karenkaya back, and he can also turn the Earth into dust, and let Karenkaya take the place of the Earth in the solar system. Howard Stark said speechlessly, it seems that the brains of the ancient Sydney people are really sick. Is it really good to be so kind to the enemy? To cause trouble for future generations, it is almost the same as second Hokage. Uchiha Madara. This is really true. The policy and forbidden technique left by the spicy chicken Tobirama, in the original future, have brought endless troubles to future generations. Senju Tobirama. This does not explain, I think. Senju Hashirama silently changed the subject. Master, what do you mean by gathering 8 elements? Li Zan. It is to gather the powers that can drive the 8 elements in one person, which is equivalent to gathering all the chakras of the 9-headed beast in the body of Gedo statue. The fusion between them will undergo qualitative changes, bringing an incomparably terrifying power. Lu Xing was surprised. To gather 8 different abilities in one person. Can something like the 7th sense be sent out? Li Zan sneered. Of course. The magic circle of the ancient Zilan kingdom can do this, and the products of modern technology can directly extract other people's abilities. Howard Stark said with joy, is it so strong? It seems that the technology in this world is also very strong. That is to say, modern technology is more powerful than the magic circle of the ancient Zilan kingdom. Li Zan. No, each has its own merits. The magic circle of the ancient Zilan kingdom needs the cooperation of those with abilities to send out the 7th sense. The forced extraction of modern technology will result in residual abilities, and it is impossible to obtain the complete 8 elements. The mutant Black Emperor said with emotion, can't you get complete abilities? That's not bad. After all, it's a high-tech that can forcibly plunder other people's abilities. In other words, isn't this kind of technological equipment very cumbersome? Li Zan. Bulky. Not at all. You only need a ring, it's very convenient. What, do you want to try it? Mutant Black Emperor. If possible, I would like to experience the feeling of stealing other people's abilities, especially Eric's magnetic field ability that interests me. What's the name of the ring? Li Zan. The black ring is called the Black King Star, and the white ring is called the White King Star. But let me remind you, this ring may not be as good as you think. Howard Stark asked curiously, there are hidden dangers in this kind of thing. Li Zan. Of course. This kind of ring is aimed at supernatural abilities. It may not be effective for mutant abilities, and it may not be able to extract other people's mutant abilities. 3.7. Mutant Black Emperor. Really? That's a pity. Senju Hashirama. Master, I have a question. Can human beings really accommodate multiple abilities? You previously compared the abilities of this world to tailed beasts, and it is impossible for a person to have multiple tails at the same time. Beast. Li Zan said with a smile. Have you noticed it? Yes, the body of an ordinary person cannot accommodate multiple abilities. There is a person with dual abilities in this world, but unfortunately her body can't bear the consumption of 2 abilities at all. After soaking in the nutrient solution to continue life, there is very little time to come out and move. Lucky star. Then how did they accommodate the 8 elements? Li Zan. Human transformation. As long as you make your body as strong as Gedo statue, it can accommodate 8 elements. In the original future, there is the ancient demon serum hell blood and magical body, the body of God, these 2 ways to allow the body to accommodate a variety of powers. Howard Stark. I'm not interested in magical bodies. What is the serum of the ancient gods? I bet it's a product of technology. Li Zan. That's right. This is a super serum produced by scientific means by extracting the blood of the ancient demons. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 203. I feel that my life is so tragic. In the chat group, Howard Stark asked very curiously, what effect will this serum have after using it? It must be more powerful than Captain America's serum. Li Zan. Of course. Captain America's super soldier serum is incomparable to Hell's blood. Hell's blood can increase the life level of the eater. To those superpowers who have shrunk their bodies in the VV Academy, as long as they are a little thin, the blood of Hell restores youth. The mutant Black Emperor corrected. Use. Li Zan denied. No, it's edible. You think Hell blood is for injection? No, it's for oral use. Howard Stark said speechlessly. It turned out to be oral. Well, can this thing restore youth? Li Zan. What do you think? I said that it can bring about an increase in life level. If you can't live forever, what kind of life level is it called? Outside world. After wandering in the sea for a while, Li Zan soon noticed something was wrong in one sea area. The space gem on his finger instantly glowed, capturing a space crack and opening a gap to another space. Li Zan directly entered another space through the space gap, and found that this was a primitive world, which seemed to be a planet larger than the Earth. Fierce-looking giant beasts survive in this world. Li Zan saw one flying bird in the sky killing another bird. The killed bird turned into a golden light point and poured into the body of the hunter. In the chat group, Howard Tucker looked at this scene in astonishment, and asked inexplicably, what happened? The way the creatures in this world eat is very unique. Lucky Star. Looks like a third-rate online game, fighting monsters to upgrade. Li Zan. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the Demon World. Uchiha Madara was surprised. Demon World. That is to say, this is another world. Li Zan denied. It can't be said to be another world, it's almost the same as another dimension in the same universe, and it is no problem to understand it is another planet in the universe. The mutant Black Emperor asked curiously, is there anything special in this world? Li Zan. Upgrade monsters and become infinitely stronger. Creatures in this world have eternal life, and their only way to die is to be eaten. Creatures that eat them will get all their energy, which is similar to upgrading monsters in online games. Lucy said in surprise. Then this is a good place. If the teachers of the VV Academy come here to upgrade, can't they have the ability to resist the backlash of the seventh sense? Or, can they upgrade here to be comparable to Hell? The body of blood. Li Zan. Thinking too much. Even Taya, the strongest creature in the demon world, her body is not as good as the body that uses the blood of Hell. Originally in the future, you fell into the demon world after using the blood of Hell, and you were killed by the demon world. The mother Taya swallowed it, and the backlash of the blood of Hell directly caused Taya to explode and die. Lucy said in shock. I originally used the blood of Hell in the future. Unbelievable. Am I so esteemed? Or, is the blood of Hell already overflowing to the extent that it can be used by everyone? Li Zan. Think too much. The reason why you have Hell blood is because the failure rate of this thing is very high. When no one else can take the risk, you become an experiment. Lucy said in astonishment. No way. I was actually abandoned as an experiment. At that time, I was still a student of VV Academy, right? The principals are not like that kind of people. Uchiha Madara sneered. That's not necessarily. As the saying goes, know the face but not the heart. How do you know that those people you know will not betray and betray you? Doflamingo laughed. Foo, sometimes you think the people around you are good, it's just because you don't encounter difficulties. When you encounter a situation where you have to sacrifice a person, you will understand that the so-called friendship is simply shit. Li Zan smiled and said, the answer is wrong, the situation that Lu Xing encountered was not like that. Lu Xing was not abandoned as a test product, he took the initiative to propose it. Howard Stark praised. Like Captain America, he took the initiative to become an experimental subject. It seems that this guy is of good quality. Li Zan. Almost. Both of them are rubbish with little power, and they both yearn for great power. They are very similar in this point. Lucy. Li Zan. However, the difference is that Lucy didn't have many choices at the time. If Captain America didn't get on, there were other people. If Lucky didn't get on, there would be no choice. After all, there were not many people on their side at that time. Li Zan. Under the circumstance that everyone else showed great strength, Lu Xing found himself a hindrance. Coupled with the fact that his parents collected debts and abandoned him, when he died, only the creditor would struggle. There is nothing to worry about. He took the initiative to experiment with the blood of Hell. Hearing you say this, I feel that my life is so tragic. The sad Lu Xing silently changed the topic. What happened after I fell into the demon world? Li Zan. You killed Taya, the strongest creature in the demon world with the blood of Hell, and then swallowed it all the way to become a demon king, and made a lot of limelight in the last battle. Fight side by side in October. Lucy was very happy at first, but soon became depressed. The last thing he wants to see now is to fight side by side with Yan Ziyu. His orientation is normal. Tasmi. It seems that the traveler has something to do with the demon world. He killed Lucy probably because Lucy would become a devil in the original future. Howard Tucker smiled and said, that's not necessarily. Maybe it's because he likes September or October, so he eliminates his rivals in advance. Taking advantage of Lucy's relationship with them is not particularly close. Lucy. Don't say it, it's impossible. Li Zan. I sense the existence of that transmigrator. It's still easy to find humanoid creatures in this strange place. Outside world. The space gem on Li Zan's finger glowed, teleporting with him and appearing on a huge castle. In the castle, a shady-looking young man sat on the throne, surrounded by several huge nutrient jars, and it could be seen that there were various cells and tissues inside. Owner of Fire Element, Black Moon Iron Cavalry October. The owner of the Light Element, Black Moon Iron Cavalry September. The owner of the Wood Element, Black Moon Iron Cavalry April. The owner of the Golden Element, Black Moon Iron Cavalry March. Thunder Element owner, VW Academy Martial Arts. The owner of the Water Element, VV Academy Wenku. The owner of the Earth Element, VW Academy Breaks the Army. Dark Element owner, VW Academy Lucky Star. The owners of the 8 elemental abilities are allotted half of them to the VV Academy and the Black Moon Cavalry. This is simply embarrassing me. Except for Lucky Star, the remaining 7 are not easy to deal with. If you want to collect their abilities, you have to think about it in the long run. But without the Lucky Star, other people can't make up the 8 elements. There shouldn't be 2 people awakening the same power, right? At least in the same era, it is unlikely that even if another person has died, it is a bit of a chance to use his cells to operate. The shadowy youth looked at the nutrition jar in front of him, and said angrily, if that damn Mr. Greedy Wolf was not nearby, I would have captured Lucky Star alive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I can't collect all 8 elements, as long as I keep hunting down the strong. Even if there are no 8 elements, the upgrade system can still make me invincible. Far away, Li Zan, who was invisible, watched this scene silently, while observing the state of the castle. Many weak monsters with intelligence were working in the castle. Judging from the self-comforting words of the yin-riding youth, this guy should have an upgrade system, the kind that will become stronger after killing people. No wonder he will enter the demon world after crossing into the world of stealing stars. The system of fighting monsters and upgrading and the demon world of fighting monsters and upgrading are a natural pair. In the chat group, Howard Stark said with some regret, I thought it was a love murder, but I didn't expect it to be just a murder. It's boring. Lucy was silent, but he thought it was good. Shaki, the Golden Lion, said disdainfully, I think his motive for killing 480 people is quite good, at least this is an ambitious man. One Piece Roger instigated. Master Group, what are you waiting for? Come on, let's see what kind of things can be exploded after killing this traveler. Li Zan laughed. I want to know too. Li Zan of the outside world shot directly, and the invisible space squeezed directly towards the shadowy youth, crushing him directly. What happened? The yin and weak youth was taken aback. A powerful force burst out from his body, forcibly resisting the space squeezed from all directions. Escape. Feeling the powerful force squeezed from all around, the weak young man knew that he was not an opponent, and thought of running away without saying a word. A space channel was opened by him, which is the road to stealing the star Earth, and the shadowy youth plans to escape to the Earth. At this time, the masters on the Earth were like clouds, and the shadowy youth felt that after he went to the Earth, he should be able to muddy the water and improve his survival rate. Want to go? Li Zan smiled, and the power gem began to glow, which greatly enhanced the power of the space gem and directly destroyed the space channel opened by the weak youth. Space Crush. As the shadowy youth was directly obliterated by Li Zan, the system prompt sounded. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully killing a system owner and obtaining a skill, Upgrade and Strengthen. Upgrade and Strengthen. Passive skills, all the abilities of the host are doubled. In the chat group, One Piece Roger asked curiously, Group leader, what ability did you get this time? Li Zan told the truth and said that this skill is good. Uchiha Madara. Like my Mangekyo Hitomi, it's a passive blessing type skill. To be honest, this type of ability is the best. Li Zan. Indeed, I have no shortage of means now, and more means can't help me enhance my strength. But this kind of passive blessing type skills can improve my strength. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 204. There are new people joining the group. In the chat group, Li Zan asked, Lu Xing, do you have any unfulfilled wishes? If not, I'll come back after a while. Senju Tobarama asked in surprise, Master, you are not mistaken. There are so many good things in this world, why don't you collect them? Li Zan, when I get the time gem and come back, there is a problem with the time in this world. Uchiha Madara wondered, is there a problem with the timing? Li Zan, that's right. In the future I see, although Murvi did not win in the end, he also beat the earth of this world very badly. September incarnates light particles and returns to 9,000 years ago. The first emperor of ancient Ceylon, who merged the 8 elements, got his power. Lucy Xing puzzled. What's the matter with getting power? Li Zan. Emperor Guzilan gave all his power to Juyu, and let her take her back to the future, and he himself ran out of oil and died. Otherwise, Guzilan, who brought together the 8 elements, how could the emperor not live for 9,000 years? Howard Stark puzzled. Why did Emperor Gu Exilan give his power to September? He knew that he would be finished by doing so. What was his motive? Li Zan. Well, you may not believe it, September told the Emperor Guzilan what happened 9,000 years later. The Emperor Guzilan realized that power could not solve the problem, so he gave his power to Juyu Ran. She goes to diffuse hatred. Uchiha Madara. This is really Shiki the Golden Lion. Stupid. Dongfang Gaiyu. To be precise, I can't understand his train of thought. Han Fei. Yeah, wouldn't it be enough to just kill the sealed Murvi? If it doesn't work, can't you go to the future to solve the problem yourself? Even the less powerful September can travel through time, can he do it? Not. Li Zan. Who knows? People in this world are not very normal. But their actions also form a time-space paradox, can you understand? The absence of the ancient Saran Emperor means that he lived 9,000 years ago. I have given up my strength and my life. Howard Tucker suddenly said. This also means that September will definitely go back to the past in the future, and come back with the power of Emperor Guzilan. The mutant Black Emperor suddenly said. If I remember correctly, Lord Group Master, have you stopped the mutants from changing the past? Li Zan. It's different. In the Marvel world, the past that is changed by the future does not appear, and everything can be changed. But in this world, the past that is changed by the future has appeared, and the ending seems to have been set. Lu Xing asked nervously. If the Lord of the group interferes, what will happen to all this? And the previous traveler, he killed me, wouldn't it affect anything? Li Zan reluctantly said. Who knows? This kind of thing involving time is very troublesome. So I think after I get the time gem, I will come and see the situation here. It is safer. Lucy. Wait a minute, I have a question. If Juyu gets the full power of Emperor Guzilan and Emperor Guzilan dies again, wouldn't she become the new master of the 8 elements? Li Zan sneered. Do you think things are too good? September is not qualified to bear that power. After she has the power to reverse the Earth's time, the whole person will be wiped out. Lu Xing said in astonishment. No way. Lord of the group, has September finally been resurrected? Li Zan. Resurrected, otherwise how did you think you and Yenji October became children? She took care of you growing up. Lucy. Howard Stark said with a weird smile. What is this called? The girl who has a crush on her becomes an adoptive mother. It's a very good plot. Lucy is speechless. This plot is terrible. Mutant Black Emperor. This is a new form of love triangle. It's interesting. Uchiha Madara complained. The ancient Saran Emperor's brain is simply sick, what is the point of him doing these things? If he personally kills Murvi's undead or goes to the future to solve the trouble, I'm afraid he and September will be the same. There will be no problem. Lu Xing said resentfully. If he solves the problem himself, Juyu will not be wiped out. If Juyu is not wiped out, I will not become a child to save her. Li Zan. People in this world are not very normal, and it's not surprising that some illogical things happen. What's more, do you think your world is normal? In fact, every world is extremely absurd. One Piece Roger asked curiously. Master, what kind of absurd form are people in this world? I want to open my eyes. Li Zan. How do you say it? People in this world seem to be love-brained, similar to Uchiha Obito, a psychopath in the Hokage world. Namikaze Minato stunned. Why did you mention Obito again? Li Zan. Uchiha Obito thought about destroying the world because the goddess he had a crush on died. The same is true of Murvi, the big boss behind the world. He started the war 9,000 years ago because the woman he loved died. Already. Uchiha Madara said speechlessly. The death of his beloved woman must have been arranged by someone behind the scenes, right? Li Zan. That's not true. According to my guess, the woman he likes is Princess Mangya of Karenkaya, but she later married the Emperor of Gusiran. Then Princess Mangya had an affair with Murvi, a daughter who was executed by the humiliated Gerzilan royal family. Howard Stark. It was a bit of a thrill. I suddenly realized that love triangles were the source of the disaster. Mutant Black Emperor. This time the love triangle is different from the previous ones, and even the children have come out. Senju Tobarama. Isn't Mommy Karia's secret crush also having a daughter? Uchiha Madara. Can that be the same? Princess Mangya's daughter was not his husband's. No wonder the ancient Ceylon did not kill Murvi directly, but sealed him up and made him suffer for a long time. It turned out that he's such a great hatred with the ancients. Dongfang Gaiyu. Indeed, not to mention the Green Emperor of Guzilan, he even set off a rebellion to destroy the kingdom of Guzilan. With such a big hatred, it is normal to seal him up and suffer. Alice Phil. Since that Princess Mangya liked Murvi, why did she marry the Emperor of ancient Ceylon? Howard Stark. Who knows? Maybe it's because she's more fraternity and wants it all. Or maybe she's like September and likes both so she can't make a choice. Han Fei. This kind of thing still needs to be guessed. Although the princess has a noble identity, they can't decide their own marriage. Namikaze Minato. Murvi was so miserable watching his beloved girl marry someone else, then took her to death and went completely crazy. It does have some similarities with Obito. Lu Xing. Lord of the group, there is nothing unreasonable about this, right? Li Zan. Reasonable is reasonable, but a bit absurd. Didn't I just say it? People in this world seem to be lovers. Except for Murvi, the same goes for March in the Black Moon Night. He has a crush after his partner died, the whole person's sanity collapsed. Li Zan. Besides, there are you, September, October, Xuanyu, and Pojun. Anyone with a bit of strength will have a vigorous love affair. Rule the world and save the world are all a joke. It looks like it's a love story. Lucy. At this moment, a series of system prompts sounded in the chat group. Ding. Mayano Atsushi joined the chat group. Ding. Cosmic Overlord Boros has joined the chat group. Ding. Yamamoto Luyuanzai Shigekuni joined the chat group. Ding. Holy Keisha has joined the chat group. Ding. Thomas Wayne has joined the chat group. Howard Stark. A newcomer has joined the group again. There is also a Cosmic Overlord Boros among the newcomers. I don't know how it compares with the Cosmic Overlord Thanos. Cosmic Overlord Boros. Who is Universe Overlord Thanos? Also, where is this place? Senju Tobarama. This is the chat group of the dead, where the dead gather. You should know that you are dead, right? Divine Keisha. Interesting. This money place holds our undead, shouldn't it just be for us to chat? And I'm curious, what happens if our bodies come back to life? Uchiha Madara. Resurrection. I've thought about this before, but no one has ever practiced it. If you set up a means of resurrection before you die, I'm looking forward to the outcome. Li Zan. Don't expect it. Her resurrection time is a bit long, at least 300 million years. Even if time passes by faster in her world than in other worlds, you don't have the patience to wait. Uchiha Madara said in astonishment. 300 million years. The group owner must be joking. Our Hokage world has records for only a few thousand years. Sacred Keisha smiled and said, the group master knows a lot of things. That's right, my body has been blown up into an atomic form. It will take at least 300 million years to be resurrected. Originally, I was waiting for this time. Not conscious, so don't get bored. Sacred Keisha. Who would have thought that the undead after my death was actually pulled here? This is a bit difficult. If you can't wait for 300 million years to die, wouldn't the conscious me be bored to death? Li Zan. Don't worry, it's impossible for the undead in the chat group to die again. Also, you don't need to wait that long. Kai. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 205. The combination must be stronger. In the chat group, Sacred Keisha said, Master Group Owner, do you want to help me revive quickly? That's not necessary, I have no idea of revival for the time being. Uchiha Madara asked in surprise, since you have left the means of resurrection, why don't you want to speed up the resurrection? Senju Tobarama smiled and said, it should be because I don't believe in the group owner, as newcomers usually do when they enter the group. Li Zan. Not believing in me is just one reason, and being tired of being alive is another reason. Howard Stark asked curiously, could it be that she has worked in a certain position for hundreds of thousands of years, just like the Supreme Mage Ji Yi? Sacred Keisha smiled and said, hundreds of thousands of years. I have lived for more than 30,000 years. Howard Stark in shock. Just kidding. Li Zan. No joke, what she said is true. Han Fei. Whitebeard. Oriental Lonely Moon. Mutant Black Emperor. At this age, kneel. Uchiha Madara couldn't help but said, how strong is she who can live for more than 30,000 years? Li Zan. In her world, she is the strongest in the known universe. Note that it is not a planet like yours, but the entire universe. Lucky Star. How does it compare to someone who has gathered 8 elements? Li Zan. The complete 8 elements are fused with each other, and you can get the true power of the gods, with almost omnipotent power. This kind of power can easily destroy the earth, but it is difficult to destroy the sun. Divine Caesar. Destroy the sun. If it's a normal star, I'm fine. But if it's that huge star, it's a bit of a problem. Li Zan. Indeed, there is also a gap between stars, and it is not surprising that the difference is billions of times. Uchiha Madara. I don't understand the difference between the stars, but 480 looks like this Holy Keisha is very strong. How did she die so powerful? Did she commit suicide? Divine Keisha. Someone detonated a supernova to kill me, and it happened that I had enough alive, so I didn't dodge and was blown up. But my body was already strong enough to be indestructible, and the supernova explosion just blew them into. If I get the atomic form, it will take me 300 million years to recover. Howard Stark. From your conversations, I feel that this Holy Keisha is a big tech guy. Li Zan. Yes, she does study technology. In their world, knowledge is power. Almost all the strong are knowledgeable scholars, and their power also comes from their own knowledge. Howard Stark suddenly became excited. There is such a world. It's the world I dream of. Li Zan. Don't be too happy. Although you are considered a genius in the Marvel world, you may not be able to get along in other worlds. What if you are not satisfied? The technology in her world is the same as that in the Marvel world. Technology makes a big difference. Howard Stark wondered, what's the difference? Li Zan. The world where the Holy Keisha lives is called the Super God world. They regard the entire universe as a data world, and use the supercomputer they made to modify the data to achieve the purpose of modifying reality. Howard Tucker. How does their ability to modify reality compare to the reality gem in the Marvel Universe? Li Zan. Each has its own merits, and they must be stronger together. Lucy. If I remember correctly, the reality gem in the Marvel world is made into something called ether particles. And my seventh sense potential disappears. BFDH, the element I can control is also ether. Ether in the end, what is it? Li Zan. Isn't it marked in your attribute column? The elements you can drive are ether and darkness. In many worlds, ether elements are dark elements. The ether particles in the Marvel world are dark particles, the treasure of the dark elves. Can bring the entire universe back to the Dark Ages. Cosmic Overlord Boros. Sounds like a lot of fun. It's a pity that I can't do anything in my current state, otherwise I really want to have a good fight with you guys. Shiki the Golden Lion. Master, is this Cosmic Overlord serious? What will happen if he fights Thanos? Li Zan. If Thanos has the Mind Stone, Boros should not be his opponent. The magic effect of the Mind Stone is too strong, and it is just a bunch of negative states to add to the enemy, and Boros does not have the same level of artifact. Content. Howard Stark. If they were both unarmed, could the two of them fight 50-50? Li Zan. Who can say this kind of thing accurately? No one can be sure without a fight. But it is worth mentioning that the power that this Cosmic Overlord has in his world is called the Dark Matter Pirates. Quote. One Piece Roger said in surprise, Pirate. Lord of the group, isn't this Cosmic Overlord a name made in the sea? Li Zan. The Sea of Stars is also the sea. He is the cosmic pirate we mentioned, and of course he is not in the same world as you. Cosmic Overlord Boros said tentatively. Master, you know so much. Do you know how I died? Li Zan. No, was beaten to death by a bald head on some remote planet, isn't it? Cosmic Overlord Boros. Howard Tucker. I remembered. The master of the group once said that the individual strength of the Cosmic Overlord may not be stronger than the powerhouses on some backcountry planets. The Cosmic Overlord was defeated by the powerhouses on a backcountry planet. So, that means he's not on the technological road. Li Zan. Yes, Boros was born on a planet with a harsh environment. His strong racial talent and personal talent gave him unparalleled strength. Although his technological power is not bad, it is not very good. Howard Stark. So, the power of technology in the world where Divine Keisha lives is outstanding. Look at that world. Apart from the power to modify reality, does it have any excellent technology? Or is it that their power to modify reality is already unparalleled? It can be an almighty substitute for other powers. Mutant Black Emperor. If the power to modify the current is developed to the limit, maybe even the rules of the universe can be modified. In this way, they can completely impose various definitions on themselves. Howard Stark. You mean to modify one's own soul and body into an immortal state and reject all forms of weakening modification. Mutant Black Emperor. In addition to this, you can also set up your own attacks and defenses, and you can even modify the rules of the universe anyway. Holy Keisha. It's a pity that our technology is not so powerful yet. And modifying reality requires a huge amount of energy, and the effects you mentioned, exhausting all the stars in the universe, may not be able to be achieved. Howard Stark was acutely aware of a word. Stellar. Sacred Kesha. That's right. Our celestial computer consumes a lot of energy, so we connect the stars in the universe and digest the energy of the star to maintain its operation and operation. In addition to the celestial computer, we also study body modification. Through genetic engineering transforms my body into a divine body, and my body that is blasted into atomic form and can be restored as the product of genetic engineering. Howard Tucker complained. If someone with this kind of body fights, can the universe still exist? Detonate a supernova or something at every turn. Sacred Keisha. Detonating a supernova is only a means to deal with the gods, but it is not the only means. As long as there are, they will be studied, and the gods are no exception. In order to destroy the gods, we have researched various gods' arms. Howard Stark of Marvel World, drooling, asked with a fluke, can you teach me this knowledge? Holy Keisha said without hesitation, not for the time being. I don't know you yet, how can I share my precious knowledge with you? Li Zan said speechlessly, Howard Stark, have you thoroughly researched the Universal Warhammer? Howard Stark embarrassed. Not yet. Li Zan. Then what are you excited about? You need to eat every bite. You may not be able to finish the knowledge of the Marvel world, so why are you in a hurry to collect other knowledge? Howard Stark said embarrassingly. I can't control my instinctive reaction. In addition, you are too calm, Lord of the group, right? God Saint Caesar has all good things. Mutant Black Emperor. What about good things? She died on her own initiative, so she shouldn't have any desire to need the group master to help her settle it. As for the other group masters, shouldn't they look down on their things? The Universe Overlord Boros said unhappily. What do you mean? Li Zan. There is a rule in my chat group. You can send me your skills in the form of red envelopes, and then I will help you fulfill your unfulfilled wishes. Cosmic Overlord Boros. You covet our skills. Li Zan denied. To be honest, you don't have much that deserves my attention. I'm not the time when I was just rising, and I'm demanding more skills now. Cosmic Overlord Boros sneered. Hard to play. Li Zan said with disdain. Whatever you think. For the sake of being in the group, you are destined to join the group. Give me your skills and the world token, and I can help you fulfill your wish. Although not very interested in the skills of newcomers, Xuan is still very interested in the world of newcomers. Not to mention the world of Detective Conan, where Miyano Atsushi is located, the One-Punch world represented by Boros is okay, the Shinigami world represented by Yamamoto Ryusai Shigekuni is very good, the Super Seminary world represented by Holy Keisha is very powerful, and Thomas Wayne represents the DC universe as no less than Marvel in terms of rank. But now these newcomers have just joined the group, and they are very vigilant in their new state. Xuan understands the reason why he can't eat hot tofu in a hurry, so he did not urge them to make a decision, and return to the Marvel world calmly. When they stay in the chat group for a while, they will believe Xuan. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 206. This idea is good, you can try it. Marvel World, Karmatage. Xuan's shadow clone is already familiar with this place. After returning to the main body, he gave all his memories to Xuan. After realizing that Xuan had the ability to take over as the Supreme Master, he deliberately and impatiently held a ceremony of abdication. The Karmatage mages have no problem with this, and Xuan's shadow clone is getting along just fine with them these days. In addition, Xuan has god-level black magic, and his magical attainments have also been recognized by them. After handing the Eye of Agamotto to Xuan, and deliberately letting the other mages back down, she began to pass away, and a powerful soul was liberated from her body. Xuan, who was transparent in midair, nodded, looked down at his body, and quickly blackened side, waving his hands to summon a flame to burn it. Ancient One. A jet-black phantom appeared in the flames, roaring in anger, and his tone was full of unwillingness. What a pity. Dormammu, your wish has failed. Ji Yuyi's soul let out a chuckle, and after waving goodbye to Xuan, he directly entered the dimensional void. In the chat group, Holy Kesha asked curiously, what is that? My science can't understand them, is that an application of dark energy? Xuan laughed. Does it feel like seeing new world? Divine Keisha. Almost. If I had discovered this world earlier, maybe I wouldn't be bored and want to die. Cosmic Overlord Boros. Did that woman liberate her soul? It's rare. I have seen many masters of psychic power, but I have never seen anyone who can achieve this level. Yamamoto Yanansai Shigekuni. Is it strange that the soul continues to survive after losing the body? In my world, there are countless things that can be done. Howard Tucker. Damn it. Is there such a thing? Xuan. His world is quite special, and the soul without the body can continue to practice. This old gentleman is a Shinigami, who practiced the soul, and he is the one standing at the top of Shinigami. Mutant Black Emperor. Is it Shinigami? There are Protoss in our world, and it is not surprising that other worlds have Shinigami. In other words, is this Shinigami the same as the Shinigami we understand? Xuan. Somewhat similar, but never the same. Uchiha Madara. Since he can survive as a soul, was he dead or alive when he was pulled into the chat group? Yamamoto Lu Yuansai Shigekuni. Shinigami will also be killed. It stands to reason that I have already been wiped out. This chat group is very powerful, and it can even recruit my undead. One Piece Roger asked curiously. According to what you said, shouldn't you even have the undead? Yamamoto Lu Yuenjai Chonguo sighed. Yeah. So I'm also very strange, I can only sigh the magic of this chat group. There is also the god of Saint Caesar, and it stands to reason that her undead should not come here. Sacred Keisha smiled and said, it makes sense. My spirit and cells have been completely integrated, and I am preparing to reorganize my world, so I really shouldn't be here. Outside world. Xuan looked at the Eye of Agamotto in his hand, and activated god-level alchemy, turning him into the third ring inlaid with the Infinity Stones. Howard Stark in the chat group was stunned and said, Master Group Owner, isn't the Eye of Agamotto an artifact handed down from generation to generation by the Supreme Master? You directly forge it into something else, is it really appropriate to do this? Xuan said indifferently, what's wrong with this? I can make it into a ring, and naturally I can make it back to its original shape. Do you think my god-level alchemy is a decoration? As he spoke, Xuan used god-level alchemy to restore the Eye of Agamotto, which had been turned into a ring, and then turned it into a ring inlaid with the Time Stone again. Xuan said, although the Eye of Agamotto is also an artifact that can use the Time Stone, it is inconvenient to use. For example, when using it, the Eye of Agamotto must be opened. Quote. Shiki, the Golden Lion, wondered, what do you mean by opening the Eyes of Agamotto? What's wrong with doing this? Xuan calmly controlled the time ring to restore the look of the Eye of Agamotto, and then showed them the process of using the Time Stone with the Eye of Agamotto. Xuan said, did you see it? With the Eye of Agamotto, using the Time Stone requires preparation time, just like the use of ninjutsu requires a seal, which is more troublesome. Senju Hashirama echoed. Indeed. When fighting people, every second is very precious. If you waste time to activate the divine weapon, it will indeed have an impact on your own combat effectiveness. Xuan said with a smile, it's not just that simple. In the future I see, When Strange, who was supposed to inherit the position of the Supreme Mage, used the Eye of Agamotto, it was because the preparation time was too long. Defeated. Li Zan. When he activated the Eye of Agamotto, his enemy controlled his palm with Shunfa's psychic power, preventing him from using magic smoothly, and then defeated him. Uchiha Shisui commented. The instant skill that does not require preparation time is indeed advantageous, which is an important reason why Sharingan is feared. For most ninjas who do not have instant ninjutsu, the kunai that does not require preparation time. And shuriken is the way to say hello. The Mutant Black Emperor. When the Infinity Ring of the group owner uses the power of the Infinity Gem, it should not require preparation time, right? Li Zan. Of course. Why else would I turn the Eye of Agamotto into a time ring? Howard Stark. Master, you already have 3 Infinity Stones, you should be able to grab the Mind Stone from Thanos, right? Li Zan. It's a good idea, you can try it. Outside world. Li Zan was about to go to the universe to find the bad luck of Thanos, when suddenly a colorful light fell on Kamatage, and Thor came out from it. Li, congratulations on becoming the Supreme Mage. Thor, carrying the Meow Hammer, laughed at Li Zan. Seeing Thor's carefree appearance, everyone in the chat group couldn't help but sigh. Odin's silly son came again. Li Zan looked at Thor with a half smile, and asked, congratulations on becoming the Supreme Mage. Then you should have brought me what I asked for last time, right? For flowers. Thor nodded and said, of course. He shook the Thor's hammer in his outstretched hand, and said loudly, Heimdall, send the things down. Another colorful light fell, sending a pile of ulu metal in front of Li Zan. Nice one. Li Zan invited a piece of ulu metal to sense it, and found that this thing has a very good effect on enhancing magic, and it is really suitable for making magic artifacts. God-level alchemy was activated, and these ulu metals turned into silver light spots and fell on Li Zan's hands. In addition to enhancing the 3 infinity rings he already had, the remaining ulu metal was turned into another 3 infinity rings. Li, are you really going to collect 6 infinity stones? Thor looked at the 6 rings on Li Zan's hands, and his expression changed slightly. Try it. Li Zan smiled without explaining much. Thor patted his head and said solemnly to Li Zan, my father invited you to Asgard as a guest. It seems that there is something important to discuss with you. Point 0. Li Zan said with a half-smiling smile, wouldn't the god King Odin take a fancy to my infinity stones and try to trick me into doing it? Thor laughed dryly, and said with an embarrassed expression, how is this possible? Father, he said that he has no interest in collecting infinity stones. Li Zan asked curiously, then he didn't reveal it, did he ask me to discuss something with me? Thor frowned and thought hard for a while, then shook his head and said, no. He only said that this matter is very important, and it is related to the safety of Asgard Earth and even the entire 9 realms. Li Zan said speechlessly, he doesn't think that he can make me pay attention to it, right? I don't care about this kind of thing. Thor coughed dryly and reminded, Li, you are now the Supreme Mage. Li Zan patted his head and said helplessly, that's right. No wonder Ji Yi is in a hurry to give up the position of the Supreme Mage. It is so troublesome to be a Supreme Mage. Thor rejoiced. You agree? Li Zan nodded and said, agreed. I have 3 infinity stones, and even if Odin has the blessing of Asgard's dimension, I'm not necessarily weaker than him, and I don't worry about fighting. Thor, the god of thunder, said with a dry smile, don't keep making jokes like this, my father has no ill will towards you. Judging from his attitude, he seems to appreciate you very much, and it seems that he has important things to entrust to you. Li Zan said with interest, is there such a thing? Then I must go and see it. If he entrusts me with the reality gem, I will accept it. But if he entrusts his daughter to me, then I may have to turn down his offer. Thor smiled and said, Li, you are joking again. My father has only 2 children, I and Loki, and has no daughters. Li Zan glanced at Thor with a smile and said, that's not necessarily true. Thor looked uncomfortable by Li Zan, asked Li Zan if he wanted to go to Asgard now, and immediately raised his hammer to summon the Rainbow Bridge after obtaining Li Zan's consent. The colorful light enveloped Li Zan. Li Zan did not resist, experienced the difference between the Rainbow Bridge and the Space Gem, and was taken to Asgard. Superior. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 207 Li Zan with a hard character. Supreme Master, welcome your arrival. One-eyed Odin said cheerfully to Li Zan and welcomed his arrival. God Odin, I've admired the name for a long time. Li Zan also had the same polite expression, which was completely different from his previous performance in Kamatage. Thor, the god of thunder, sighed, if the leader's request is hypocritical, then he may not be qualified to inherit Asgard. Odin warmly invited Li Zan to the banquet, talked with Li Zan about some nonsense about jointly maintaining the peace of the 9 realms, and then proposed a deal with Li Zan under Thor's stunned expression. Odin said with a look of sigh, Supreme Mage Ji Yi was successfully liberated and obtained freedom, which makes me very envious. I don't think I can hold on for much time, and I will soon go to the Hall of Valor to meet the previous kings of Asgard. Quote. Li Zan said with a blank face, God Odin is joking. In my opinion, you can live for at least a few hundred years. Unless you are like Master Gu Yi, you have enough to live and want to leave. Odin smiled and said, from a certain point of view, I do have a lot of similarities with Master Ancient One. But lifespan is lifespan. There are very few people in this world who can live out their lifespan. I have to prepare early. Li Zan glanced at Odin speechlessly, and said, don't hit the horse with 480 tiger eyes. To be honest, are you going to entrust me with the reality gem or your daughter? Odin said without embarrassment. If you can fulfill the duty of guardianship of my daughter, I am willing to use the reality gem as a reward. Thor, the god of thunder, was stunned and asked in disbelief, Father. Are you kidding me? Why didn't I know you still have a daughter? Odin said with a look of sigh. Before you were born, I had a daughter named Hela. She is your elder sister, and was imprisoned by me for making a big mistake and persisting in teaching. Thor was puzzled. What big mistake did my sister make? Why have you never told me about this before? The side expression on Odin's face suddenly froze, and he glared at Thor, the god of thunder, and immediately told him to shut up and say no more. Li Zan said cheerfully from the side, Saul, your sister's affair involves some dark history of Asgard. With an outsider like me present, it is inconvenient for God Odin to tell you. God Odin glanced at Li Zan speechlessly, and suddenly doubted his decision. But thinking about Asgard's situation, he has no other better choice now than Rotten. This is the essence of all events in the heavens and the world. God Odin sighed, looked at the silly sun on the side and said to Li Zan, I am not afraid of my own death, the only thing I can't worry about is Asgard. With such a muscular air, I am worried. Asgard was blown up by him. Thor, although a little depressing, but I do not defend, because you are telling the truth. Li Zan said with interest. So what? Odin said solemnly. So I hope you can take care of Thor and Asgard after my death. Li Zan touched his chin and said, this is the price I paid for the reality gem. Odin shook his head and smiled. Of course not. Before I die, I will notify you to come and collect the reality gem. As for the reward for taking care of Thor, I can give it to you now. Odin clapped his hands, and immediately 2 Asgardian maids came over with a sphere and an eye-like object placed on it. Odin said indifferently. They are all artifacts of the Supreme Mage's lineage, the Orb of Agamotto and the Eye of the Warlock. One is as your reward for taking care of Asgard and Thor in the future, and the other is please take Thor with you. Go and practice in the universe. Li Xuanyi. Let me take Saul to practice. I don't have anything here for him to practice. Odin said indifferently. Why not? The Supreme Mage is also going to attack the Dimension Demon. And those Dimension Demons will also develop believers in the universe, so they don't need you to solve it. Although Saul is not very smart, but his combat power is still good. Li Zan thought for a while and couldn't help but ask. God Odin, can you tell me why you did this? Leave the 2 biological ones to me to manage. If I attack them, you can only let the adopted sons heir to the throne. Thor, the god of thunder, was stunned. This was the first time he knew that Loki was adopted. Loki is not blood related to him? Thor pinched his brows. What's with this complicated mood? It doesn't seem to be particularly disappointing. Odin smiled and said, it's not just the Eye of Agamotto that can predict the future. We Aesir also have our own way of prophesying. Although I'm not sure what the future will look like, I believe in my choice. Li Zan nodded. Got it. He is a good character and deserves to be trusted. At the end of the banquet, Odin said that he would ask Thor to find Li Zan after a while, and at the same time gave Li Zan a dimensional coordinate, where he imprisoned Hela. In the chat group, Sacred Keisha is curious about how the Rainbow Bridge works and, with the explanations of others, has a certain understanding of the Marvel Universe. Mayano Atsushi. Is that one-eyed old man Odin, the god king in Norse mythology? It's a little different from what I imagined. Mutant Black Emperor. Your world also has such a Norse mythology. It seems to be another world with Earth, right? Mayano Atsushi. There is indeed an Earth in my world, and I have lived on it before. Uchiha Madara. Master, Odin doesn't have any conspiracy, right? I feel like he is too generous to you. Senju Hashirama. Madara, don't make people think so badly. Didn't Odin say it? He did it because of prophecy, similar to the Supreme Mage Ancient One. Senju Tobarama. Brother, don't think so well of people. According to what the group owner said before, Odin's behavior is a bit abnormal, right? Second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon. The Supreme Mage chose to die because he was tired of living in the original future, but Odin did not do that. Is there no clue to Odin's current approach in the original future? Li Zan. Indeed, Odin didn't plan so much for his children in the original future, but this should be the change I brought. After all, in the original future, he didn't even take back the reality gem. Shiki the Golden Lion. This old man is not very happy. He didn't give you the reality gem immediately. I'll give it to you when he's about to die. Wouldn't that group leader have to wait for hundreds of years? Li Zan. Maybe, but if I collect the Infinity Stones fast enough, or if Odin thinks it's almost the same, I can get the Reality Stone in advance. The old fox, Odin, who uses the Reality Stone as a bait for me. Sacred Keisha chuckled and said, using the Reality Gem as bait, In exchange for the 2 artifacts sold by the Supreme Mage, the purpose of letting you fight Thor with Thor should be to cultivate your feelings. It seems that he is worried that you will accept it. You turn your face and don't recognize people after you get the benefits. Li Zan dissatisfied. Don't talk nonsense, my character is guaranteed. Otherwise, why does he believe me? One Piece Roger said with a smile. Maybe he didn't have to choose, or the other options are worse. After all, you have said many times, Lord of the group, this is a bad world. Li Zan. Shut up. Are you the only one who can talk? Senju Tobarama. Yeah, you really can't speak. Shiki the Golden Lion. What nonsense are you talking about? Ding. One Piece Roger was silenced for 5 minutes. Ding. Golden Lion Shiki was silenced for 5 minutes. Ding. Senju Tobarama was silenced for 5 minutes. Li Zan. Okay. Don't pay attention to the speeches of these irrelevant people, let's continue the topic just now. Odin sensed that I had a hard character and entrusted his son, daughter and Asgard to my care. Uchiha Madara. I just wanted to ask, what happened to her daughter? Mayano Atsushi. In our mythology, Hela is Loki's daughter. Howard Stark. No way. In our world, Loki is the son of Odin and the younger brother of Thor, the god of thunder. And from what the group owner just said, this Loki is still an adopted son. Mayano Atsushi. It seems that in different worlds, the same myth is different. In our world's mythology, Loki is Odin's younger brother. Mutant Black Emperor. This relationship is really a big gap. Is the Loki in your world strong? The Loki in our world doesn't seem to have any sense of existence. Li Zan. Loki in Marvel world is the child of the Frost Giant, adopted by Odin after defeating the Frost Giant. He inherited the magic of his adoptive mother, but he is an assassin who likes to use a dagger to fight with people. Although it is known as 3.79 realms the number 1 mage, but it doesn't live up to its name. Lucky Star. The number 1 mage in the 9 realms. This name is indeed a bit big. The Supreme Mage is also in the 9 realms, so Loki and the Supreme Mage can't be compared, right? Li Zan. Of course. The Loki in this world is the god of tricks and mischief. His magic can only be used for mischief. Compared with the Supreme Mage, a powerful being that can rival Odin, there is absolutely no comparison. Howard Stark. Wait, if the Supreme Mage can match Odin, how can Odin have an artifact from the Supreme Mage? Li Zan. The Supreme Mage occupies the Earth, which is equivalent to dividing the Earth from the 9 realms ruled by Odin. Wouldn't you think that Odin did not make any statement about the Supreme Mage's actions? There were conflicts between them too. Those 2 artifacts from the lineage of the Supreme Mage are Odin's trophies. Whitebeard. Odin turned the 2 artifacts sold by the Supreme Mage into his own combat products, which means that Odin won. Li Zan. Who knows? There should be winners and losers. Although Odin got 2 artifacts from the Supreme Mage's lineage, the Supreme Mage also took away 1/9 of Odin's territory. Both sides got both a good trophy was won, and a tacit agreement was reached. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.